ramping up after Iran fired on ships in the Strait of Hormuz this week. The skirmishes come as Iran held funeral processions and prayers for the former supreme leader killed in the initial days of the war. ABC News contributor and retired Army Lieutenant General Doug Lute calling the recent conflict a setback.
Of course, the U.S. killed Iran's leader. Right. So this is just the most strategic dimension of this tit for tat back and forth that basically leads us nowhere. It leads us into a continued stalemate and a continued closure of the Strait of Hormuz. So this is not good news. And in effect, we're back to where we were 3 weeks ago before the so-called ceasefire agreement.
David Hearn, the Olympian accused of vandalizing the pool lining at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, appeared in court today. He pleaded not guilty to a felony charge. At Wimbledon, American Coco Gauff losing to Karolina Muchova in the riveting semifinal match. This is ABC News. In Maine, Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner releasing a video saying he's dropping out of the Senate race. Plattner had been facing multiple allegations, the latest a claim of sexual assault by a former girlfriend. He denies the allegations. State Democrats now scrambling to replace him on the ballot. More from ABC political director Avery Harper.
Troy Jackson, who was a progressive gubernatorial candidate, he is somebody who is a logger. He was endorsed by Bernie Sanders in that gubernatorial primary that he did not win. He is running. We know that CDC alum and public health official in Maine, Nirav Shah, he is also among the names of folks who are throwing their hat in the ring to become the next nominee in this race.
Plattner says he plans to file the former paperwork to withdraw his name on Monday. A dangerous heat wave smothering millions in the southeast with real and feel-like temperatures expected to climb through Saturday from Virginia to Florida. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, how it sounded when a man attacked a Metro bus with a machete. That's after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Mariners. 405 northbound at Coal Creek Parkway. We have a collision in the right lane. Seattle to Federal Way now is 36 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 28 minutes. Now westbound 90 before Westlake Sammamish Parkway. Looks like that collision has cleared the roadway, but there's construction there, so still a little bit slow. Just a reminder, the HOV lane is open to all drivers. Bellevue to Everett now 46 minutes, and Bellevue to Federal Way an hour and a minute. Don't miss firework nights all summer presented by T-Mobile. Next is the 2000s Decade Show, July 17th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Footage from the day a man allegedly smashed up a King County Metro bus with a machete has now been made public. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
A bus driver pulled up to 4th and Jackson around 12:25 last Thursday morning, and a man loaded his pink bike on the bicycle rack. The driver recognized the guy. He says a month earlier, he kicked his bus's door and broke a window. Not only that,
oh, you got a sword, man. You got a sword, bro.
The driver wouldn't let him on. In security footage from the bus, you can see the guy drop the bicycle and start bashing the bus with a machete. Daniel Couch pleaded not guilty Thursday to second-degree malicious mischief, a felony, which could get him up to 5 years in prison if he's convicted. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
The family of a Seattle woman who was killed along with her unborn daughter is suing the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. Ina Kwan died in a 2023 shooting in Belltown. Lawsuit claims the agency failed to act on repeated warning signs involving the accused gunman while he was receiving housing and support services. Suspect was found guilty by reason of insanity earlier this year and committed to a psychiatric hospital. The KCRHA says it cannot comment on active litigation. Seattle police now looking for a suspect who stabbed a man in the back near the University of Washington. Detective Ryan Pritchard says it happened last night in an alleyway off the Ave.
After the stabbing, the suspect left on a bike northbound.
39-year-old victim was taken to Harborview. The crime caught on surveillance video. Pritchard says they're investigating jointly with UW police. You're asked to call police if you spotted anything. Wazoo sports just got a lot closer to home. Starting this fall, you can catch Cougar football and men's basketball on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Wazoo Athletic Director John Harlow says it brings a piece of Pullman to Puget Sound.
As much as we want people to get back there, we also understand they got some lives that they got to lead too. We try and get out here in person as much as we can. But when we can't always be there, this is the best thing for it to happen.
The multi-year partnership also includes women's basketball through the app and one baseball game on the air each season. Your forecast now looking very nice. Sunny skies this afternoon after those morning clouds burnt off. We'll see more clouds, though, tomorrow and again on Saturday with the chance for some light rain as well in certain spots. Right now, 74 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the John Curley Show.
How you doing?
Well, this is not a good sign if I'm struggling to work the equipment.
You're going to be just fine. It'll be great.
Okay, that's the story we're telling. Hey, everybody. John isn't here today, but I'm Angela along with Spike. You all know Spike. You just finished. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a great time.
Got your coffee?
I got my coffee, got my water. Going to hydrate.
Yes.
Taking a hydration break.
But do you feel like you're prepared for life? That's what I want to know. Prepared for the show, prepared for life. I'm asking that because I'm sure you heard about the big news from the state, from Olympia, our state school superintendent saying, you know what, let's change up the curriculum a bit and prepare students for life. So I'd love to get you all's opinion on this. By the way, I want to give you the phone number to text us. A lot of you probably already know it, but just in case, the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. So for those of you who haven't heard this story, this is Chris Rakedahl saying he wants to have a class. He's calling it the launch class. I might have gotten the title wrong. Post-secondary launch course. And it's stuff like how to build a resume, how to register to vote. If you're thinking about going to school, how to apply for financial aid. He said so many kids are taking on, let's say, student loan debt or credit card debt and not realizing the implications. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, we dug into this story yesterday. G and Ursula had Superintendent Rakedahl on, and he had some great points and answered some great concerns from G and Ursula. My thought is this is a great idea. And I spoke from a position of personal experience. I come from a family which didn't provide much financial literacy. My folks, just wasn't their game. And I, in suit keeping in tradition, didn't instill a lot into my kids. My kid, who's recently graduated college, thinking about getting their first place, and I said, "Well, do you have first, last, and security deposit?" And they were like, "What?" You know, and that's, as a parent, that's a complete failure on my part. So I think these are the kind of skills that schools have gotten away from teaching. I'm older than you, but when I was in school, I had a class called home economics, and it wasn't just learning how to, you've seen it portrayed in movies for you younger audience members. It wasn't just learning how to cook, which was covered. It wasn't just learning how to do laundry, which was covered. It was also how to balance a checkbook, how to read fine print and contracts. What does a credit card mean? What are the dangers of a credit card application that you fill out? These are the elements of this proposed course. It's going to be proposed and it'll be decided on in the next year. They'll come. It's got to be presented toward the entire state legislature has to approve this proposal. Right. It's an elective course. It's not a core course.
See, I thought he was saying he was requiring it. It would be required. Well, did I read that wrong?
No, you're right. But it won't be a core. I mean, all classes, kids have to take electives.
Yeah.
It will be an elective which gives half a credit for financial literacy and half a credit for civics.
It says here, this is
Seattle
Times.
Maybe I've got it wrong.
That it would be a mandatory year-long class. A mandatory, according to this report. But I'll need to look at his press release to see. Baby Joe, you can see if you find that out. But here's my question. I think most of us agree this is a great thing. This sounds great. There are only so many
long overdue.
There are only so many hours in the day. So what are we willing to give up? I think most of us agree that PE. Do they still have that? I think they still have that. I think most folks are still like, you have some kind of physical education.
Physical activity is a core requirement.
I do not think
it's an elective, but it's one of the. That's the thing about being required. It's got to be required. It's the senior year of education. I think both of us are right on this.
Yeah.
It's an elective course. You got to take it somewhere over the course of your high school education, because there are core courses and there are elective courses.
Right.
You have to fulfill the requirements for both those. My youngest got out of high school 4 years ago. They had PE 4 years ago. They had a walking class. I swear that was PE. That was the PE credit. The whole class would walk up to Starbucks or wherever and then walk back. That was credit in high school.
What's wild to me, okay, we agree that this is needed. My question to this is, what are we willing to give up? So I go back to the idea of what is that going to look like? Because right now there's some what do you call them? The classes that you take where you learn a skill. Some schools have that.
Trade schools. Yeah.
Like you may have, but here's why I think
wood shop or checkbook.
Yeah, here's why I do think it would be worth giving up something to have it, because it is a predatory world out there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but since my kids graduated high school, we're constantly getting mail from student loan companies,
credit card
wanting to
offers.
give. Oh
You
my
bet.
gosh!
We get them constantly.
And you don't, and they don't have the foresight to, or I should say, many of them to understand the implications of what that means.
They don't have the financial literacy.
We moved from a house, and the people who purchased the house had been saving us mail, and it was just a stack of predatory
student loan offers, credit card offers
addressed to her,
You
not
bet.
to the parents, addressed to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My youngest gets, and we had that conversation. We did have that conversation. One of the things that Jean Ursula, I think it was Ursula asked Superintendent Reichdahl, isn't this a responsibility of the parent? Because that was my first concern. There's some things, but again,
course it is.
Of course it is. And Reichdahl's answer, what I thought was very honest and correct. He said, look, we can't count on it being done at home. I mean, I equate it to sex education classes. That's something that should probably be taught in the home. How many of us didn't have the conversation with our parents? Parents didn't have it with their kids. No. It's an uncomfortable parent. And if you want to, that's fine. If you want to give your kid, I mean, and as they implement this again, if they agree to it, it'll be next session. It won't go into place for another 4 years, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, until 3031.
I say it needs to be urgent, especially now.
I'm with you. We always talk about how this generation isn't prepared for real life. This addresses that. This is real life skills.
And I do want to address those of you, because it's a valid point that parents should be the ones teaching many of the things that we talk about. But I think everyone who thinks that understands that all parents aren't great. In fact, many of them are not. And it's not even about being great. In some cases, it's like you said, you don't know.
I didn't get it from my folks.
My sex ed was no C's, no babies, no disease. That was it. Okay.
Okay.
There was nothing beyond that. But then you also have some lousy parents out there that are actually, stealing. I mean, there are some. We cover news. This is talk radio. We hear the worst of the parents. And what I would like to, at least my view, is that when we can help young people, we help communities. When we help women, we help communities. And so so I think being able to support kids at this level is just going to make everyone better. All right.
And it's a safety net for those households which don't cover this information for kids.
And then you're not having to use your taxpayer dollars to help them out on public assistance because they're actually able to support themselves.
It's an educated
Systems
population.
thinking. There you go. Yes.
So it would be mandatory what Reichdahl's proposing. And in doing so, it would combine two currently elective courses, which are a semester-long civics requirement and a financial literacy course.
Right, exactly.
So it's combining those to be a mandatory one-year course.
Okay, I have another idea for a mandatory course, and
y'all
are going to like it.
Tell me.
Media literacy.
Oh
my gosh!
Oh, you're not wrong.
I when we were coming up, I mean, it felt very simple, at least for me. I know. Listen, 3 channels. And expanding,
that's fair. That's really aware of you too to know that this generation is dealing with an entirely different information sphere.
AI, right?
Yeah.
Fake videos, misinformation, disinformation, and being able to have a course that teaches them how to navigate what's real and how to analyze information. I think is so that AI isn't the one telling them how to do this. They can actually use their brains.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my youngest, who just finished up this year, did have a class on media literacy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I could see that being part of the civics course. Like, to me, that would make a lot of sense if you included that there. Okay, here's why all of this matters. There was a headline today that came out of the Wall Street Journal, and it is about a cashier at Costco who is a millionaire.
Okay.
He didn't inherit it.
He worked hard.
He didn't strike. He didn't hit the lottery.
Okay.
he just did the basics, it sounds like, because I wanted to know. I was like, well, maybe he doesn't have kids. Maybe he doesn't, I had all these reasons, right?
What are they paying cashiers at Costco?
Okay, let's $32.90 an hour.
Are they hiring?
Right?
I'm doing the quick math of what we make.
But here's the key part that I found out from this is that he built most of his wealth due to their generous 401k.
Okay.
I mean, his saving, I'll get to that in a moment, but generous 401k. And I found out through research that the majority of people who do become millionaires, it's from 401ks. So when you see companies getting rid of those, you're kind of getting rid of the biggest shot at actually being able to sustain yourself post-retirement.
Well, my generation, I think, was the first generation that really didn't have access to pensions. Yeah. Very, very few jobs have pensions these days. That used to be the norm.
Right.
For manufacturing employment, for industrial employment in this nation. And they've gone away from that as corporate profits have become more important than employee life quality.
Yeah.
Pensions have gone away. And now 401ks are going away for a lot of different companies. And that's a reality of the economic situation that companies find themselves in.
And that is the biggest wealth builder. 8 out of 10 millionaires, according to the study I looked at at Reader's Digest, 8 out of 10 millionaires did it through a 401k. So that is the key part of this. But let me talk a little bit more about Costco because there's some other aspects to this. I knew I was in trouble when I couldn't make excuses when they described how he brought his lunch every day. Because I think nothing of dropping $10 on a latte.
Well, and when you go to Costco, you can pick up lunch for $1.50 right there at work.
That's true. But he brings his lunch.
That's frugal. That's good.
It's frugal.
Yeah.
But
I got a brother-in-law in basically the same boat.
Okay. What was his profession?
He was a Forest Service worker. He worked a federal job. He did not get rich at work. He also didn't hamper his ability to be comfortable in his senior life by being irresponsible with his money. I love the guy. But I ain't never seen a guy pick up a check. And that's okay. It's okay. He's not shirking any responsibilities. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, myself I think included, are generous to a fault.
A lot of the rich people I know are a little tight.
That's good financial management.
You said he's never picked up a check for you.
And I'm being a little facetious. He doesn't go out of his way. Christmas gifts are very modest from his side of the family. These are the make the Christmas gift kind of folks. We're the kind of shop on Amazon and send them something. Buy the bigger one. Buy the nice one. Yeah. It's Christmas. Yeah. And those little decisions along the way,
they add up.
This guy's making $33 an hour at Costco. He's comfortable.
Yes.
He's not never going to have to rely on his neighbors to take care of him, the government to take care of him. This is financial literacy, financial responsibility, discipline.
And here's the other piece of this. He said he took in a decade. They took 2 trips to Europe. How many people nowadays expect to do a vacation every year? Well, when I was growing up, we did not have that at all. But if you go off social media, folks are taking vacations every year.
Thank you for bringing that up because, again, this is a different world than the previous generation grew up in. You live in this social media sphere of what average looks like, what the norm is for culture. I'm not living a crazy life. I'm just keeping up with the people on social media who dine at restaurants and travel to Europe and drive these great cars and do all these great things and have these designer clothes. The standard of what's acceptable has been raised, and financially we can't keep up. We just can't.
I'll never forget being at the grocery checkout line, and my daughter was like, why aren't we going to Hawaii? Because all of her friends from school, public school, by the way, and they were all going to Hawaii for spring break. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
There's also an element, though, that people of this era, I think, and it's been researched and proven out through evidentiary studies, people live for the now. People don't worry about the future as much. This next generation, not mine. I'm a boomer. I'm the last of the boomers. But the millennials and then the Xers, Gen Xers, they live now. They don't worry about and plan for the future. They want to enjoy life today. That's a very common perspective among younger generations.
So I'm not a boomer, I'm a Gen Xer, and this opinion got me in a lot of trouble on the Gene Ursula show, and I'm going to share it with you.
Please.
And I am not a fan of credit card debt. I'm not a fan, right? However, some of my biggest regrets are not taking trips that were only good for that time. and I wish I would have put it on the credit card. So, for example, it was my dream to take my kids on a Disney cruise, and I could never afford it.
Sure.
Now I'm like, the window is past. And so I'm like,
you wish you had.
Yes. And then there's another thing. There's a summer place I've always wanted to go to on the East Coast. We never did it. It's you ever see that movie Up?
Of course.
And he's like trying to save money to go on the trip. And so every year something came up, he's breaking the glass.
Yeah.
And so is it wrong to say that there might be some activities that might be worth, and I'm not, and I got hate text messages over
kidding
this.
Me. For being you being you? For deciding for yourself? How dare people?
And I'm not telling people to take on debt. I'm saying I look back at missing those opportunities that I can't get back.
Yeah.
And say, would that have been,
Well,
I don't know.
I can I tell you what my therapist told me about why I live the other side of that coin? When you have near-death experience, and I've survived a heart attack. My wife has survived heart disease. I almost lost my wife when my youngest was born. And he said, look, you live in the now because nothing is guaranteed.
That's right.
And that when I spoke earlier about how this generation kind of lives for the now. There's the great debate is what's more valuable to experiences or money? Mm-hmm. Money equates to long-term security with regard to the Costco cashier is a perfect example of this. Responsibility and discipline results in comfort down the road. And the guy get hit by a bus tomorrow. I think being financially responsible makes you magnetic, and we're going to get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but we took our kids, my youngest and my nieces, my very frugal I was talking about my in-laws. We took a trip to Ireland when my kid graduated high school and the two cousins graduated high school. My wife and I 2 summers ago, the 6 of us went to Ireland for like 10 days, and they saw Scotland, and they saw London, and they saw Paris. And it took me 2 years to pay that credit card debt down.
But do you regret it?
Not for a second.
That's what I'm saying.
Not for a second.
That's what
because
I'm saying.
memories are for money comes and money. That's always the rationale I tell myself. Money comes, money goes. You can always make more money. You can always sacrifice something, pick up a side hustle, whatever it might be. But the opportunity that you missed, and I don't mean to be
no, but that's what
the opportunity
I'm
that you missed to not take your kids on a Disney cruise. I just want to say it's not too late. I'm an adult Disney kind of guy. I know people think you get hate mail on that.
Okay, yeah.
People think it's freaky that adults go. And I got a friend who does ears. He's 60. He still gets ears every year and goes to paying his wife. And without kids, it's even more fun, to be honest with you. It really is.
Then there's that.
You can still take your kids on a Disney cruise.
Okay, well, listen. We only got to part one of this conversation. There is
another.
There's a second piece of this that is really important, and we will talk about it after the break. But first, let's see. Who's
Lori.
here for traffic?
Lori. Yeah, Lori's
Hi,
here.
Lori. What's going on?
Hey there, northbound 405 at Coal Creek Parkway. We have a collision. It's in the right lane, Renton to Bellevue, a 20-minute drive now. Westbound 18, right before you get to SeaTac Airport, there's a collision in the left lane. Pretty big slowdown, but in the opposite direction, eastbound, we're seeing a really heavy drive as you head past the scene as well. Seattle to Federal Way is now 51 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 54. And the Link Light trains are still not operating between Northgate and Capitol Hill. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodness.
All different flavors. To goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Walter is a soccer player, a soccer coach, and a soccer dad. So when he injured his Achilles, it affected everything.
Every time I ran or tried to play soccer, it would just get worse.
And he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
I was a soccer parent, and within a few weeks, 2 other fathers tore their Achilles or damaged their Achilles. They went to the surgery. I went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I was back up and running, and they were jealous because it took them months to recover. One of them never fully recovered.
That's right. Walter chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy. The most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The recovery period is so short, and the feeling that you have of being completely back to normal is overwhelming.
So, whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Summer is for sunshine.
It's a beautiful day out for baseball here at T-Mobile Park.
Summer is for moonshots.
He just absolutely obliterates this! Multi-homer game, Cole Young!
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Emerson is racing over, slides up! He makes the catch! Incredible!
So listen for the cheers and follow your ears to T-Mobile Park. Because where else can you travel to on a ferry boat and then eat crab nachos out of a ferry boat?
How sweet it is!
It is the sweetest, Rick. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Don't miss this summer's festivities at T-Mobile Park. After the All-Star break, the Mariners are back in town for a West Coast showdown against the San Francisco Giants, July 17th to 19th, including 2000's Fireworks Night on Friday the 17th, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets and check out the full lineup at mariners.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit ewsalvage.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The Department of Justice today is accusing Washington State of allowing non-citizens to vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
In a letter to Secretary of State Steve Hobbs, the DOJ claims the state has failed to ensure only eligible voters cast ballots. Washington law already prohibits non-citizens from voting, and recently on social media, Attorney General Nick Brown said there's little evidence of non-citizen voting or widespread election fraud, including mail-in ballots.
We adopted this system because we want every eligible voter to have their voices heard.
The Secretary of State's office calls the letter a needless attempt to revive long-debunked claims about rigged elections. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Cadaver dogs are back out in Douglas County today, searching for any potential victims in the Chelan Hills fire. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin traveled with the sheriff behind the fire lines.
Everywhere you look, charred houses and cars.
We've had fires in this area. We've just never had fires of this magnitude and devastation.
Douglas County Sheriff Tyler Kale says the Chelan Hills fire spread so quickly. Some firefighters barely made it out alive.
It became so hot, their tires started to pop. And rather than drive down the road with popped tires, they decided to back the truck into where it was, and then they ran from it.
Deputies also drove through, piling people in their cruisers.
One person died in that fire while trying to drive away from the flames. The human-caused fire is now 75% contained. A criminal investigation is underway. An abandoned boat illegally moored at a public pier in Ballard could soon be removed. King County judge has declared the 112-foot vessel a public nuisance. Seattle Times reports the rusting, graffiti-covered boat is a retired Icelandic Coast Guard gunboat. It's been tied up there since 2019. Owner now has until July 30th to remove it or face $500 a day fines. If he doesn't, the city can remove or demolish the vessel at his expense. Revive I-5 resumes tomorrow night across the Ship Canal Bridge. I-5 northbound will be completely shut down all weekend, so crews can set up their work zone. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors says after that, 2 right northbound lanes will be closed through the end of the year.
The Roanoke on-ramp is not going to be accessible. It's going to be inaccessible during this time, which is a major on-ramp. That's the one I use to get home every night. The northbound express lanes will be open 24/7 through the duration of this project. You can read more about it at mynorthwest.com.
So now to the real-time traffic desk, and sitting in for Nate tonight is Lori.
We do have an accident. Well, it cleared 405 northbound at Coal Creek Parkway, but it's still a pretty heavy backup. You got about a 5-minute delay Renton into Bellevue. 518 before SeaTac, a collision cleared, but still a little bit of a slowdown heading into the airport. Seattle to Federal Way is under an hour, 51 minutes, and Bellevue to Everett right now is 54 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Clear skies at this hour, but increasing clouds overnight. Should be mostly cloudy, actually, the next couple of days. Could see some pockets of light rain tomorrow and again on Saturday. Right now, a beautiful afternoon, 75 and sunny. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of the John Curley Show brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. I'm Spike O'Neill, Angela Poe Russell. We're sitting in for John today.
Happy to be here. We are having part 2 of this conversation because there's still some juicy stuff to talk about. It is going to blow your mind when I tell you the benefits that Costco employees get, and they are still profitable. But first, I want to just close out how we were finishing this conversation because we were talking about those moments when you take credit card debt. So let me just reset in case you're just joining us. There's a Costco cashier who has become a millionaire. He makes $32 an hour. He's got, more than $1 million in his 401k. He is good to go. He is a happy Costco employee. And financial discipline was part of that. And that led us to this conversation. We had a few people who texted in saying, horrible advice, and other people. I love what Brian said. I agree. He said, no hate here, Angela. There's a difference between spending beyond your means and the once in a while, let's do this purchase.
Where you place experience over your finances. You invest in the lifetime experience. That was my point of it.
Yeah.
And I know people say it's horrible advice.
Yeah.
And they're right.
I get it. Yeah. In general, I agree. And I also appreciate so much, Spike, that you brought in the emotional aspect of spending. Being vulnerable enough to share that, in therapy, you realize that, hey, when you come close to death, you have this realization that
what are you
don't know how much
buddy?
time.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have the time. But let's talk about the other part of this, because we've put a lot of weight on us and what is our responsibility as employees and being disciplined and doing all the right things and packing your lunch and never getting a latte. I've been so good and I get my clothes from the secondhand store and my car is 10 years old. Okay, it's not all on us. All right, let's talk about Costco. Before I share the benefits, I want you to know that Costco's annual sales, according to this Wall Street Journal article, they've grown for 20 years. Stock has increased over 2,000% during that time. And even, during the recession, it dipped a little bit, but still, booming, doing really well. Here's the other piece of this. So the article talked about how the turnover rate for employees was low.
At Costco.
And so I always need a comparison, right?
Sure.
The turnover is like 7%. That's their employee turnover rate. So it made me want to find out, well, what's their turnover rate for a regular grocery store? 69%. Turnover is 69% at other grocery store retailers, and Costco, 7%.
Right.
People aren't leaving. So you want to know why? This guy.
They get even more discount on the goods they buy?
Oh, it gets better. This is really good. We're going to be like, they're going to be like, where did Spike and Angela go? Like,
they're both working at Costco. Yeah, if you want, we're doing our show at Costco. I got food samples. Angela can help you out with drapes and whatnot. It'd be great.
Okay. His health care copay of $15, specialty copay of $25. He has a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a pool, by the way. Oh, I know.
Okay, go on. I'm sorry, go on. Jealousy's an ugly emotion. I own it.
His wife had brain cancer. And it was pretty bad. She had to have 3 surgeries. It was stage 3 brain cancer. His health insurance covered the full cost of 3 surgeries.
Okay.
He took paid leave for a year. Paid.
That's his company.
Yes.
Investing in their employees.
Yes.
That's a commitment to the quality of life for employees. And that's why Costco has a 7% employee turnover ratio.
Yes.
Which is literally 1/10 almost of the national average for that like retailer.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that stat in. Because companies make a decision what's valuable to them, what's a priority to them, whether or not an employee is an asset or a liability. I've worked for a lot of radio companies in my life, and I'm not trying to, blow sunshine up the skirts upstairs. I've worked for companies that look at the bottom line of employees as that's the cost of doing business. That's not why you're able to do business. That's, that's not an asset. That's not what brings value to your product. Costco looks at their employees as a resource, a valuable resource, and they invest in it. Most other companies decide not to do that. Now, Costco's, you mentioned their stock. They're a publicly traded company. They've got a responsibility to their shareholders because that's always the first excuse or rationale companies give for not taking care of their employees. We got an obligation to our stockholders. Well, so does Costco, and their numbers have gone up for 20 straight years. Their sales have gone up. They don't have to retrain them. It's so much easier and more economically feasible to retain an employee than to hire and train an employee.
That was their philosophy.
And that's common sense. But most businesses take short-term gains, fiduciary responsibility to stockholders over the value of their employees and the assets that their employees bring to the company. We work for a company that's got a phenomenal perspective on us, on Joe and you and Andrew and I and everybody in the newsroom, the resources that we use to bring the product to the community. Bonneville appreciates and respects that, and they treat us with the respect. With regard to, I'm still a little jealous of the $15 copay.
Yeah, and get this.
How many times has your employer, out there in the audience, how many times has your employer changed insurance coverers? You may not have changed jobs. I worked for one broadcast company for a 10-year stretch. In that period, we changed insurance carriers 4 times. in a 10-year stretch.
And each time you paid more?
Each time I paid more and got less. Because they were saving money on the back end at the expense of quality of life of their employees.
Yeah. Here's what drives me nuts, and I can't say too much, and I can say it's not Bonneville. It's not this station.
Okay, because
I can tell you there is a company. No, it isn't. It's a company. What drives me nuts is when there are companies that are doing really, really well. And I'll just tell you what I know is that this company is doing really, really, that I'm thinking of. They're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And they're in the healthcare industry, and the benefits stink. I mean, compared to what, and so it just
them of all
so
people.
then you you have the money and you have and you're not and you're not doing it. And here's the piece that got me. So after his wife goes through 3 brain surgeries, they pay for everything, right?
Yeah.
He needs therapy for everything he went through related to that. That was covered. Then he comes back to work part-time because his wife's still recovering and he still got
home with her.
Yeah, and he still got paid.
That's respect and appreciation and understanding of what one of the business assets you have are the people that interact with your customers every day, that deliver the services that your customers have come to rely on. And in this era of educated consumers, we've never lived in a more educated consumer time than right now. The internet has given us that. I used to sell cars for about 7 years of my life. I sold cars. The last 3 I was in FBF. I managed F&I.
I didn't know you sold cars.
Oh, look at me! Come on, I'm perfect.
But I bet you.
But it was a shell game. It was withholding information. It was how much you don't know. They don't know what I've got in this vehicle. It's my job to not let them know and give away as little as possible and blah 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 blah. These days, everybody knows cars cost relatively the same no matter where you go. My point being that customer service is the differentiator between most retailers these days. Most things you find in your retail needs, you can find in multiple places. You can find like pricing on anything you're trying to buy. Cars are a great example, but it goes everywhere. It's the way you're dealt with that can make the difference. Costco gets that. Costco sees that, values that element from their employees, and rewards accordingly. So they have phenomenal retention of employees. They have phenomenal return on their stocks, and they deliver great service to their customers. It's not that hard to do. Maybe it's harder than being fly-by-night, but it's not impossible to do. And it's a short-term perspective to not do this.
I forgot to mention the cherry on top. His wife worked at Costco, too.
For my life,
his
better for him.
His wife worked at Costco, too, in the bakery. Isn't that great?
It's wonderful.
The whole Costco story.
I'm so happy.
And I will say this. It makes me proud to live in an area because, Costco was founded here.
One of our founding.
And what I love is beyond Costco, they do great work in the community. College scholarships.
Yeah.
I mean, so much going on. So I just really appreciate when business people have been good neighbors as well.
You ain't got to go as big as Costco. Think about Dick's Burgers.
Oh, yes.
And the college tuition programs they offer. You can decide to be a good employer and a solid business and not be a drain on the community. Hey, Walmart, I'm talking to you.
I'm glad you said it, and I did.
I've been saying it for years, man. Those guys they get more. Their employees get more federal subsidies. The U.S. taxpayer is subsidizing Costco's workforce.
I know, right? What you mean, Walmart?
Walmart, not Walmart. I meant Walmart. Yeah, thank you.
No, you said nailed it.
I can never. I'll beat that drum forever.
Let's check. I'll beat it with you, friend. All right, let's check in with Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Rented to Seattle, 24 minutes now. South Center to Bellevue, 27. If you're heading from Seattle to Federal Way, southbound I-5, that's 51 minutes. And Seattle to Everett, you're looking at a 54-minute drive. Bellevue to Everett, about the same, 54 minutes. And Bellevue to Federal Way is almost an hour at 57. We're looking at about a 5-minute slowdown now. Bellevue to Issaquah. Save big during July. Buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we stand by our quality gutters. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation. And visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Olympic Hot Tub's All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event is here. Now's the time to save thousands on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna. With up to 3 years to pay for it, interest-free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the John Curley Show. Filling in today, Spike O'Neill, and I'm Angela Poe Russell. Thanks so much for listening. You can get in on the conversations that we have by texting the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. So I mentioned our producer, Joe. Hey, I really want to do this story today. And because so often our social media feeds feed us one thing and you're getting fed another story. And this is the story that's been coming along my timeline.
Okay.
And so before I roll the actual CBS News report, I want to just give you some basic facts. And I'd love if Spike, you weigh in, and I'd love to see what you all think listening. You can text us. So here's the scenario. It's July 4th. 5 boys go on a boat to an island in Mississippi. So it's just teenagers on the boat. They graduated high school already and one freshman in college. So they go on this boat. They come back that night, but one is missing. One kid is missing. They don't know where he is. His phone is on the boat, and they said that he stayed behind, but they don't know what happened. And now his body has turned up. And the kids that he was with, they've deleted their social media. They've gotten lawyers. And so I guess my question is this. If you go on a boat with a bunch of friends, one person doesn't come back, and you say you don't know what happened, what should the police do at that point? Like what?
You said you had some additional information?
Yep. Why don't we do that?
Can I hear more?
Mm-hmm.
Because my first thought is not going to be very soft.
Right. Okay.
The family of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells is demanding answers. Wells, a college football player at Southwest Mississippi Community College, was last seen on the 4th of July, where he and friends hung out on Mississippi's Horn Island. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says he was last seen around 3 p.m. on Saturday and didn't return to the mainland with the rest of the group. Authorities say his phone and keys were found on that boat. Wells' mother, Christine Wansley, reported him missing that night. After a 2-day search, his body was recovered in the northwestern part of the island on Monday. The sheriff's office is calling this an active investigation. Wells' family has retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who, in a statement, called on investigators to pursue this case with urgency and transparency. Investigators are reviewing social media, searching for clues. Now, the county coroner tells CBS News that it could be weeks before the medical examiner's full report is completed.
Yeah, so the only thing we know is that the boys he was with say that he was talking to a girl. The girl that because I guess police talked to the girl, and he said he was the boy who was missing, said he was going back to the boat. Like he left her and said he was going back to the boat.
He's talking to a girl on the island.
Yes.
So this is a common place that teens go to.
It was crowded on the 4th of July. So if you look at the images
they weren't the only
from
5 people
oh my
on the
gosh,
island.
it was crowded.
Okay,
It was July
okay.
4th. It was crowded.
Okay.
And the girl said he told her he was heading back to the boat. And she's been cooperative, as I understand it.
Okay.
But the boys he was with, I'm like, I don't know.
They're lawyered up and deleted everything from their phones?
I don't know about deleting things. No,
I thought you said
just the phone was on the boat. Like,
well, I thought you said the boys who came back
deleted
without
social
him.
media.
They deleted their social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's suspicious to me. I think the main concern is expressed from the family is they want a transparent investigation, and the fact that you can't count on that in some places still in this country to this day is maybe the most telling and heartbreaking element of this story. There's a young man's died. That's a horrible tragedy. Parents don't know what happened. I can't even fathom what that must be like for a parent. As a parent, you're a parent.
Yeah.
There is nothing that would stop me from letting this go. I would never let this go from my teeth if this were my child.
What I'm trying to understand is have you, like I've seen cases where if someone comes up missing who was with you and they turn up dead, you're called in to investigate. And
immediately.
I hadn't even brought up race. Do you know the race of everyone involved?
No, I just
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So it's So
is that a factor?
Oh, it absolutely. That's why they hired that. Well, the boys he was with were white and he was black and mostly white.
Okay.
And so it's bringing up this whole thing about whether
we don't want to assume it was a determining factor, but it's an undeniable, and you can't ignore. This factor of this story.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't have enough time to dive deep into it. But I think that's playing into this and them feeling like, is this going to be a solid investigation? And if the roles were reversed, how would those boys have been treated?
To my earlier point, not being able to just count on an open, honest, transparent investigation.
I hope so.
And sometimes and it's often the case, you've got to go outside the local jurisdiction to get satisfaction with regard to learning the truth.
We can't ignore that. Wow. We can't ignore that. Okay, we want to get to traffic because I know some of you are in your cars or maybe you're going to be heading out and you need to know what's going on. So let's get to Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. We've just got some pretty regular travel times for the most part. Renton to Seattle is 24 minutes, and the opposite direction, South Center to Bellevue, 27 minutes. Traffic really pretty heavy between I-5 and 167 right there on 405. Seattle to Tacoma now just under an hour at 57. We've got an hour, 2 minutes, whether you're going Bellevue to Everett or Seattle to Everett. Both of 405 and I-5, an hour and 2 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
I have two big gripes from my coworkers who I thought were friends, but I'm realizing are just a bunch of jerks. I had about 10 conversations with massive amounts of green salad stuff.
Oh, no. Nobody told you?
In my teeth. I'm a common man. I like having conversations.
Yeah, and didn't bother to tell
Why
you.
didn't they just say something? I wouldn't take it as an insult.
Jake and Spike, noon to 3 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
You know how some parts of the house don't work? Let me explain. There's that closet that you've got that when you open it up, everything falls out. Or you try to find something, you can't because it's not working. There's too much stuff in there. Then how about the garage? I know some people that can't park their car in the garage because there's everything else parked in the garage. You see what I'm saying? There might be some other parts of the house where it's just packed and there's no place to store anything. So maybe you've even gone to renting one of those storage units. Well, that adds up every single month. You can't even remember what's in there. So a better investment to get parts of those house working would be Closets by Design. The consultant comes to your house. They look at the problem. They know that each one of these problems that need to be solved have to be customized. But you don't get a big customized price. You're going to get 40% off plus an additional 15% off in 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. I really became a believer in Closets by Design when they came out to the barn in Cle Elum. You should see the work that they did. My goodness. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, CM Heating has one of the best offers I've heard this summer. Right now, you can get any size high-efficiency AC system for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront cost. And here's the game changer. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program includes lifetime repairs, annual maintenance, and even filters at no additional charge ever. Go to cmheating.com and schedule your free estimate online today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tensions escalating between the U.S. and Iran, with both launching strikes since Iran fired on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. That's led to a slowdown of shipping traffic in the waterway. ABC's Louis Martinez has more.
This is a kind of a situation that we find ourselves in, and this was supposedly the type of situation that was not supposed to be occurring during this time frame for the Memorandum of Understanding, as both Iran and the United States work towards some kind of a nuclear deal.
In Utah, the preliminary hearing continuing for Tyler Robinson, charged in the murder of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. A judge today allowing prosecutors to show a video interview played in court with Robinson's former roommate and romantic partner, talking about his conversations with Robinson. The Air Force revoking promotions for 135 airmen, saying it discovered an isolated scoring error on a required promotion exam. A separate batch of 135 airmen wrongly denied promotions due to that testing error are now being promoted. This is ABC News. Protests in Houston continue after a father of three was shot and killed by ICE agents. Family members say Lorenzo Salgado Arujo was killed while on his way to work. Homeland Security officers say that officers acted in self-defense. ABC's John Quinones is on scene.
I'm standing on the corner of Canal Street here on the east side of Houston, where there was a big protest here last night, hundreds of people. And then now it's the site of a growing memorial for the victim of the shooting, the father of three, immigrant from Mexico who's been here with his three sons, three American-born sons, college students, college graduates, in fact, for more than almost 35 years.
Mortgage rates ticking up. Freddie Mac says a 30-year fixed rate rose to 6.49%, up from 6.43% last week. The rise in borrowing costs could sideline potential home buyers. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Coming up, the region's homelessness authority facing a lawsuit tied to a murder. That story after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Southbound I-5 at 405 in Tukwila, we have a collision taking up two left lanes. Eastbound 90 at Factoria, a collision in the two right lanes, taking you an extra 3 minutes, Seattle to Bellevue. 167 starts slowing at Ellingson, pretty solid all the way into Puyallup. And southbound I-5 really heavy from before State Route 18 all the way to the T-Dome, and that's a 3-minute slowdown. So that's after the accident at Tukwila. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett, both an hour, 2 minutes. Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators, 7 locations. They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. The family of a Seattle woman killed along with her unborn daughter is now suing the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports the woman died in a 2023 shooting in Belltown.
The lawsuit claims the agency failed to act on repeated warning signs involving the accused gunman, Cordell Gooseby, who was eventually found not guilty by reason of insanity and committed to a psychiatric hospital. The Seattle Times reports the KCRHA was providing him with case management and housing, but according to the lawsuit, the agency did nothing when he asked for help as his mental health declined. The KCRHA says it cannot comment on pending litigation. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Security footage is now out showing a man attacking a King County Metro bus with a machete at 4th and Jackson last week. The driver would not let the man on board, saying he recognized the suspect as the same guy who broke a bus window a month earlier. Daniel Couch, now charged with felony malicious mischief. He pleaded not guilty today. King County Sheriff's deputies will now patrol the Burke-Gilman Trail and other popular trails, pulling over riders on mopeds, ATVs, and e-motorcycles that can hit 50 miles an hour. Violators will start with warnings, but eventually they'll issue tickets of up to $125. New state law requires you to have a license to ride anything without pedals that goes faster than 28 miles an hour. And as crews get a handle on that devastating Chelan Hills fire in Douglas County, central Washington is bracing for more fire danger. KIRO 7 TV meteorologist Nick Allard says a fire weather watch is in effect for Saturday.
I expect the wind to pop up a little bit each day. Today it will get breezy in the afternoon. Tomorrow it's going to get breezy in the afternoon. Saturday it's going to get breezy in the afternoon, although mainly east of the Cascades.
Weather Service urging people to avoid campfires, target shooting, and fireworks. Your forecast here around western Washington looks very nice, though. Sunny skies this afternoon. Highs in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, more clouds, and then a few more clouds on Saturday with highs in the low 70s. Right now, 74 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the John Curley Show. I'm Angela Poe Russell along with Spike O'Neill filling in. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, you can always join the conversation by texting us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort texting line. Is that what we call it? Texting. I'm going to call it what I call it today. It's 888. Here's it. Just call us. 888-973-5476. That's 973-5476. So I wanted to talk about this next topic because of personal experience, but I think all of you have likely had it. And that was, I went to go fill up my car and I thought, are we still at $6? I thought we had a peace deal. And then, we maybe don't have a peace deal because we got this news today. Shall I run the clip first?
Please do, yeah.
Okay. I could be a little bit faster on the trigger here.
That's okay. We'll get there.
By. Okay. Here we go. So this is just to set the stage for everyone in case you haven't been following as closely as some of us. It was 3 weeks ago we got into this memorandum of understanding with Iran, a 60-day ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran. Trump declared yesterday that he considers that agreement over. So here's sound of that.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people, and they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They're liars. We make a deal. And if I make a deal with him, we have a deal. And he goes out, he talks. We make a deal. Everyone's agreed. No nuclear weapon. We make a deal. They go outside, talk to the press. They say, we never even talked about it. There's something wrong with them. They're cuckoo. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Somebody at the table is.
Right. So just to give context of how this deal fell apart,
okay,
is they had agreed that the Strait of Hormuz would be open.
Yeah.
But the memorandum of understanding was unclear in terms of who would control it. And so Iran's issue was, well, these ships came through and they didn't run it by us. And so they started firing on the ships, as I understand it.
There were three ships that were struck with drones. They had gone into the restricted zone, according to the Iranian Republican Guard. Because part of the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, was that we would talk with Iran for 60 days about the nuclear program that they have, the elimination of pursuit of a nuclear weapon. And that ships would go through, part of the agreement was ships would go through this designated section, portal of the Strait of Hormuz, and not stray from that. These three ships that were transiting the strait were going into the restricted zone, not following Iranian. Part of the things that MOU was that ships passing through the strait would travel through that restricted zone. And I'm not condoning what Iran did. Iran
We're
wanted,
just telling you what their sides
what
are
the
saying.
sides were saying.
We're saying what the
Iran
sides are
had
saying.
that restricted zone because they wanted to imply or impart a fee on tankers coming through. Part of this memorandum of understanding was lifting of sanctions on Iranian oil to be sold on the world marketplace, which helped our costs. Also, that the Iranians would be charging fees to run through the strait, which had never been happening prior to this war, this agreement of understanding. They bombed, they attacked 3 tanker ships. We retaliated by taking strikes against them. They escalated by attacking American military resources and allies in the region. And now the wheels have come off of the MOU. The ceasefire is over, as President Trump, who a week earlier were calling the Iranians smart. When they had the memorandum of understanding, they were smart people. They're good negotiator. We've gotten a lot done. I mean, play the tape from Trump a week earlier, and they're not talking about the same people. He's so quick to, they're crazy, they're cuckoo, they're liars, they're scum, they can't be trusted.
Do you think that's a negotiation tactic to use that kind of language?
Not a good one. I get in a little trouble, and I don't care at this point anymore. We've sent a negotiating team in Jared Kushner and I forget the other gentleman, Witkoff, who have no experience in the region.
Yeah, I was going to ask what their qualification was.
They don't have any. They're his son-in-law and a guy he does business with, his real estate developer in New York. These are their qualifications. And, you can hate me all you want to for this. The Obama administration spent a year and a half negotiating the previous agreement, which Trump ripped up. And they had experts in the region, in the history of the region, in the military capabilities, in global economics. And it took a long time to reach this memorandum of understanding of the previous agreement, the JP, whatever I apologize, I'm getting a little spun up here. There was a global support for this. Our allies were involved with this. That was just ripped up by this president. And then we come to a memorandum of understanding with just the agreement to stop shooting at each other and keep talking. And we couldn't even keep that on the tracks. And now here we go again, looking at a summer where, Ukraine is blowing up Russian oil production facilities in the last week. The strait is completely closed again. President Trump is talking about nothing but escalation and a final solution to the problem, demeaning the other side of this equation by calling them cuckoo, crazy, whatever you may want to do. It was his vernacular of the day. I don't know how this ends well. Sort of getting the right negotiating team. All the headlines today are they're desperately trying to find a way to get people back to the table.
Right. Well, I don't know how this ends, but I do know how this began. It was February 28th, March 2nd. The president predicted the conflict would last 4 to 5 weeks.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
And so now here's the deal. I'm always going to root for the good of people, and especially the country that supports me, and I'm from here. My family's from here.
I'm rooting for.
I'm going to root for the U.S.
Yeah, you bet.
But when this began, I was like, you can never predict when you go kick a hornet's nest. You don't know what's good. You
don't
think
get to
you
complain
may know
about the stings.
You don't know where this is going to go. So I remember at that time thinking, just like everything else, right? I just feel like going back to when the campaign season was happening and there were all these things promised about the economy and about the Epstein files and about this, and it's just been one after.
No endless Middle Eastern wars was promised.
And if you are going to violate that, then at least take it through a process. But I'll let you go.
There's. The President Trump has been quoted in the Oval Office. It's on tape saying no one knew that they would close down the Strait of Hormuz. That's completely erroneous. That's false. That's a lie. He was told repeatedly by experts, and if you can believe reporting that's taken place, that's been put out into the public sphere, that the president Benjamin Netanyahu was brought into the Situation Room at the White House, along with the top personnel of the Trump administration, and he pitched this plan to go to war, this joint war with Iran and Israel and us against Iran. And by accounts in the media, the administration, everybody from Marco Rubio to you name it, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs Staff said, this is lunacy, this is crazy. Netanyahu's pitched this proposal to presidents for the last 30 years, and they've all told him this is crazy. Regime change is not an easy thing. You're not going to have the same success you had in Venezuela. But President Trump, he said himself, I had a gut feeling. I went with my gut. I ignored decades of military expertise. I ignored decades of national security expertise. And I went with my gut, thinking that this was going to be a quick, easy, in and out, I'm a hero.
Is that a quote?
I'm going to go with my gut?
Yes.
Yes. If you don't believe me, I'll find you the tape. It's not hard to find.
Two things I'll say about that. Any leader, especially an elected official, you expect them to be strategic, which means before I make any decision, I'm going to predict every possible outcome and prepare for every possible outcome. That is part of being strategic. So that is confusing to me. There's also a concept I love because I'm a big instinct gut person too, but it is not enough. Because we're human. There's something called wise mind. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm Irish. We don't have
wise
that.
mind, which is, I think we all know wisdom is the main thing that we all want to have.
Yeah.
It's when you take your emotion and information. It's when you use both parts. It's like you use your brain and you use your heart.
Okay.
So you use your instinct and your gut, and you also use like the intellectual part of yourself. And together, those make for good decisions. That's how you make wise decisions. So you can have instincts, but you can have instinct and you can also use information and advice and together those things work well. So to hear that someone's only using gut when there are American lives at stake, and it's not only
it's American. You're right. American lives are at stake, and that's someone mentioned in our show earlier today. One of the texters called, and we're the fact that our military personnel are being put in harm's way. And it's innocent lives in that region are being put in harm's way because of the decision. We can't lose sight of that. It's not just about economics, but everybody's ability to, pay their bills, feed their family, pay their mortgage. That's all being impacted by these decisions on a daily basis.
That's what people were already hurting before he got into office, which is why they were like, the economy, we got to make the economy better.
Well, yeah.
And so now, my problems are little, right? I'm trying to get a flight to the family reunion.
Yeah.
And flights that would normally be round trip $300 are now round trip $600.
Because jet fuel prices have doubled.
Oh my!
Since the start of this, doubled.
My daughter, one way to go back to college, $400. $400 to go one way back to college.
You want to know why your grocery prices are higher? Because fertilizer prices have gone through the roof for farmers. That doesn't even begin to come into place with the trade embargoes or the trade wars, tariff wars from this administration on the agriculture industry between imports and exports. That's affecting your pocketbook. How about the labor shortage of agriculture workers? 60% of agriculture workers in this country have questionable, if not immigration status that's in flux, that have been disrupted by this administration's policies.
No, I'm like, cook, Spike, cook. I can cook on something too. You want to know how the stock market's doing?
It's doing great.
It's been volatile, but when you look at the overall gains, corporate profits are doing great.
Well, President, it's funny. We're talking about gas prices, what it takes to get food to your table from a trucker, what it takes for you to get to work and back every single day, what it costs to fly across the country on a flight that used to be half the price it is today. The president last week, the administration, I think it was the Commerce Secretary or the Trade Secretary, was saying, look, we're going to investigate you oil companies because you're gouging people. You've got record profits. Because gas prices are so high, they're trying to move aside the responsibility of those prices from this administration's policies and put it all on the gas companies who are price gouging people.
Yeah.
Okay, well, two things can be true at one time. If oil companies are making record profits, I know barrel prices went through the roof. We had a nice reprieve during one of the 38 different peace deals, resolutions to this war. We had 38. This war's been over 38 times. But
yeah, look, there's another headline I want to get to. And Joe, I'm going to need an assist because I left my notes on my desk out there.
What do you mean?
But this is a big one. This is the Republicans sent a letter to Governor Bob Ferguson asking him to pause. And do you have that headline in front of you? Because I do want to get you all's opinion on this. Did you get a chance to see it?
Washington Republicans.
I printed the letter and everything, and I'm like left it on my desk, and I'm like, someone fill me in on the headline because I do want to talk about it.
What I know is that Washington State Republican legislators asked the governor to open a special session.
Yes.
To discuss postponing the gas tax for just a period of time, an interim, while the economic situation is what it is today.
And this is specifically the Climate Commitment Act.
Was it the CCA? Wasn't the state gas tax? Okay, thank you, because I had that wrong. He wants to. They want to propose an emergency session of the legislature to discuss suspending the CCA for a period of time during this time of economic difficulties.
Listen, I'm here for any relief that our elected officials can offer. I'm just surprised that's the only idea, because I have to imagine that tax revenue is going somewhere. So if you do pause the tax, it offers some relief. But it also means that revenue for something, and it could be funding something that we're not aware of.
We're already in a deficit, a massive multi-billion-dollar deficit in the state.
But I do think, yes, we are being impacted by federal decisions, and we still do have an expectation that the folks who are charged with making sure we're okay in this state can take measures to alleviate the pressure if they can.
Well, the CCA, I think the CCA is a good idea. It's a noble intent. It's been horribly administrated and implemented. They haven't done good audits. They can't tell us what the results are. They can't tell us where our dollars are going, if we're getting the benefits that they're telling us we're getting. They can't give us any proof of what's being accomplished through this. I'm a fan of the CCA. I mean, it's not about the measurement of air quality. It's about infrastructure and investment in climate, the impacts of climate change in this region, in the state, in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of it, but if you can't even give us measurable, accurate, thorough results and benefits from this tax, then let's at least put a pause on it until you can do that. Or maybe stop it for 6 months, for a year, till the economy settles back down, till people aren't just dying financially and trying to make ends meet around here.
Yeah. A special legislative session would cost money, to bring everyone in. But that's why I think if you're going to do that.
What if they bring their own lunch, like the guy from Costco, save a little bit of money there?
With that,
it's ridiculous how much they spend, how quickly they spend money.
On that note, I do want to, can I lighten things up a minute? Or Joe, did you want to add something else?
No, you're good.
Okay, this is a public service announcement to let you know that there is a list, courtesy of Orkin, of the cities with the worst bed bugs. And so if you're traveling to any, this, you're like, Angela, help me out, like to look out for this. But what I was going to share is that we were at the bottom of the list. So we do not have a bed bug problem. Yay for Seattle.
You know what? My kid lived in New York for a year, and I never thought bed bugs were really a thing, but bed bugs are a thing everywhere in New York City.
Yeah.
My kid lived there for 8 years. You couldn't.
They are number 12 on the list.
Oh,
number 1 is Chicago for the 6th consecutive year. And I'm going there in a week.
Have you ever been dealt with? Have you ever traveled and dealt with a bed bug situation?
No, but I know some people that
yeah,
have.
Same here.
So never personally.
I never personally, but I know people that when they go to a hotel room, they lift up the sheet and have to take a quick look at your. I don't know if I'd even want to know at some point.
They have to. If you are a renter, like our apartment building, you have to sign this bed bug contract. Where if you get there's rumors that you've been in proximity of a bed bug, you have to notify them so they can come in and fumigate. Not literally rumors, but if you have a bed bug. We went to, I think we were in Klamath Falls and stayed at some crappy hotel on a road trip.
Yeah.
And we came back and we saw one on our suitcase. We're like, oh, God, no.
And then you got to disclose to your landlord.
We did not. But we also didn't end up, it was just the one, thankfully.
Okay.
But if you do have it, it is such a nightmare because they want to come in and fumigate everything. Because if it becomes a problem, it is a big
It spreads like crazy. And
yeah, so Chicago, Los Angeles, Detroit, Cleveland, Minneapolis, those are the tops.
I'm taking all those off my vacation plan.
You know what I heard? That hard shell suitcases are better apparently than the fabric ones in terms of when you get to the hotel. And of course, inspect your sheets. If you see any stains or any black dot, I know it's something to think about. Well, look,
you're going to cheer us up.
Okay, I know. I was trying to lighten
prices.
Well, this is news you can use.
Yeah,
it's empowering.
We're the best. Seattle's number one. We're not number one.
Speaking of news you can use, our traffic report with Lori at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Traffic is brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Southbound I-5 at 405 in Tukwila. That collision taking up 2 left lanes. You're backed up all the way to Inner Urban. Eastbound 90 at Factoria. It looks like that collision may have cleared, but you've still got a 5-minute delay. Seattle into Bellevue on I-90. 167 pretty heavy from Renton to Canton, then picks up again at Ellingston, all the way into Puyallup. Southbound I-5 really heavy. Federal Way all the way to the T-Dome. It's about a 4-minute slowdown. Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring section at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodies.
All different flavors. To goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
And the match is about to begin. Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth, with the Robert Cray Band. August 6th, the Tulalip Amphitheater. Get tickets on sale now at Tulalip and Quilcena One Club Desks or Ticketmaster.
When the heat's an 11,
Cool AC would be heaven.
dayandnight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
dayandnight.net.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. It's been a frustrating day for light rail riders in North Seattle. Service has been shut down all day between the Northgate and Capitol Hill stations. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports crews are working to repair a broken power supply.
Both directions, 1 and 2 lines shut down right now between Capitol and Northgate. Some westbound 2-line trains will also have to turn back at Judkins Park Station, but not all of them. Still no exact ETA on when those tracks could reopen. The Sound Transit representative that we spoke to says it could be later today, could be tomorrow.
Service has been stalled since about 6:30 this morning. Department of Justice is accusing Washington State of allowing non-citizens to vote. DOJ gave our Secretary of State 5 days to comply with federal law or face possible criminal prosecution. State Attorney General Nick Brown recently addressed similar allegations about mail-in voting fraud.
When you see these bogus claims, think about it. Ask for evidence. Ask hard questions. Don't just accept it.
Secretary of State's office calls the letter a needless attempt to revive long-debunked claims about rigged elections. Washington law already prohibits non-citizens from voting. Crews now have the upper hand on the Chelan Hills fire in Douglas County, now 75% contained after destroying 19 homes. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin spoke with the family that lost everything.
The shock of starting over is still raw.
I started crying because I looked over and it was just, it's been our home for a long time.
Douglas County Sheriff Tyler Kale says the next few days are critical as the crews move from a defensive to offensive strategy.
Make sure the fire's out, do our best to make sure that we're not leaving anybody on the hill behind. Make sure that everybody's accounted for.
One person did die in the flames as they tried to drive away. The fire was human-caused. A criminal investigation is underway. Meantime, in Kittitas County, the sheriff's office says a fire in Vantage last night burned down 2 homes. KIRO 7's Gary Horka reports the Go Now evacuation orders have been lifted.
Investigators believe it was accidentally started by a passing vehicle. That driver has been identified and is so far cooperating with the investigation.
At last check, that fire had burned roughly 800 acres. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33. We check in with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. Southbound I-5 at 405. This is in Tukwila. We have a collision now just in the HOV lane. You're backed up to Inner Urban. Eastbound 90 at Factoria, all clear, but still a 5-minute, actually down to 2 minutes now, delay getting from Seattle to Bellevue on I-90. Seattle to Renton, you're going to see a 12-minute slowdown. We're still seeing a pretty heavy drive into Tacoma from Federal Way. It's an 11-minute delay. Bellevue to Everett is an hour now, and Seattle to Everett still an hour, 2 minutes. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event starts this Friday, July 10th. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Your forecast very nice this afternoon. Clear skies after those morning clouds. Tomorrow, look for more clouds, and they won't really burn off, it looks like. Cooler weather tomorrow and again on Saturday with some pockets of light rain and highs in the low 70s. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From storms to backups, whatever you run into, you'll be prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic only on KIRO 7 News in the morning.
All right, welcome back to the John Curley Show. This hour brought to you by Bucky's Auto Repair.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us. Yes, this is the John Curley Show. And are we hijacking it today?
I want to let the text line know, and I appreciate all you guys with your input. John will be back tomorrow. I know some of you out there have disagreements with my very liberal left point of view, and I respect that. But that's the beauty of who we are as a country.
Yes.
I can have mine. You can have yours. I don't think less of you. I hope you don't think less of me. Again, John will be back tomorrow, so just ride out the left wave for just a couple of more hours.
Like trying a different food today. You're trying a different food.
Yeah,
John's coming back
here's
tomorrow.
Here's a big steaming bite of fact and reality for you.
Did you
How about
say
that?
A steaming bite of fact?
Yeah, enjoy it. Chew on it for a while. Swallow. Here, have some water.
Speaking of facts, I think we deserve to have some. Don't you think so? Especially regarding Mitch McConnell. So... Wait, okay,
Weekend at Mitch's? Yeah, I think so too.
Wow.
Sorry,
you
but
were
this
on
guy,
a roll. Senator Mitch McConnell.
I wish him good health.
Oh, is my phone? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a kid. But let me set it usually is. But let me set the stage here. So the question I want to pose to you all is, what do we have a right to know when it comes to our elected officials and their health? A lot of people, when Joe Biden was president and they suspected something was wrong, they're like, hey, we have a right to know, and they're supposed to get these physicals and we get the information.
Absolutely.
In this case, Senator McConnell has been out of touch for 3 weeks now.
3 weeks. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of details, and it's prompting all of the speculation. But at the end of the day, it's my question to you. What do we have a right to know? When does privacy end and the public interest begin?
We're talking about Mitch McConnell, who 3 weeks ago it was reported that a 911 call came from McConnell's home and an individual was resuscitated while being unconscious, given CPR. And from that moment till this, we know nothing about Mitch McConnell's state of mind, state of health. There are internet rumors about, and reporters have, not just internet rumors, not just wacky people behind keyboards, saying that McConnell had a massive cardiac incident. There are reports that he has been unconscious for 3 weeks. There were rumors he was brain dead. And I'm not wishing any of this on Mitch McConnell. I wish him a good health. But to your point, if he's working, he's being paid by the taxpayer, by the citizens of Kentucky. And since he's got a vote in Congress, to all of us as Americans, there's an obligation and responsibility that we know what the status is. And if this didn't have such strong political implications, I'd be more willing to accept the man deserves his privacy. It's an issue of he's recuperating in a hospital. There have been reports from elected Republican congressional members that they have spoken with McConnell at length, 20-minute, 15-minute conversations by phone with him. Was it Scott Jennings on CNN said he called me this morning. We had a long talk he asked about Iran and Ukraine and Graham Plattner and all these things. I'm like, I'm not so sure I'm buying all that.
In the hospital for 3 weeks.
He's been in the hospital for 3 weeks. The governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, said, look, he sent a letter to McConnell, to his offices in Congress. We as Kentuckians want to know the physical status of our elected senator. And to your point, what we have a right to know. There's a deadline approaching. I think it's August 3rd. That if McConnell is incapable of performing his duties in Congress,
the governor gets to
ask for a special election.
Yes,
which would then take place, and the citizens of Kentucky would be able to elect a senator to serve until Mitch McConnell's term expires in January.
And the governor is a
Democrat. Yeah.
So that's why there's a lot of.
That's why he's recovering, and please respect his privacy. Just isn't good enough.
Yeah. And I understand this switch is new because it used to be the governor would appoint someone.
Right.
But there was a switch in the law. Was it in 2024?
The Kentucky legislature.
But
Yeah.
I want to say they may be challenging that on the grounds of the 17th Amendment that says the governor can appoint a successor while an election is being set up. So
the Kentucky legislation took it upon themselves recently to strip away executive powers from the governor of Kentucky and give those powers to the heavily Republican majoritied legislative body of Kentucky, and that's being challenged, as you mentioned, on a constitutional basis.
yeah, so with these implications,
it's a
you
power
can't
play.
just have someone in the hospital 3 weeks and not have any evidence that he's able to serve.
It would be such an easy question to answer. You know, does he not look good? I understand. Is he incapacitated, or is he struggling? Is he alive? You know, I mean, I asked Jake this earlier, and I'm not trying to build a tinfoil hat here. How hard is it to have no one in that? I don't know if it's HIPAA laws supersede constitutional responsibility. You know, it's not real hard to get proof that he's okay.
You could easily have an independent third-party reporter or someone have a phone call or something. I mean,
well, did you see? I mentioned Scott Jennings earlier. He came on CNN,
but
he said, I had a conversation with him this morning, and the host at CNN said, "Can we call him right now?
Right?
He's in your phone. You got his number. Give him a call."
And he wouldn't do it.
No, of course he wouldn't do it. And maybe I'm completely sprung into my own little silo of conspiracy theories, and he's fine, and he's recuperating, and he's getting back to normal. The man, you remember the point where he froze in Congress,
Yes,
the very public?
I do.
That was that was 3 years ago. Wow. 3 years. That wasn't 6 months ago. That was 3 years ago. The gentleman has said, and I, all due respect, he's had multiple instances like that in front of cameras.
Yeah, well,
how many do we not know about that weren't on camera?
Yeah, I truly do hope he's okay. I truly do.
I'm with
I
you.
know
I'm
we
not
both do.
inhuman.
I
Yeah.
hope he's okay. I hope he's recovering. This, however, is concerning. The circumstances around it and the lack of transparency around it. If you want to prove that, no, I'm ready and up for the job.
Yeah, and that's your question.
ahead,
What
so
do we deserve to know
What do we deserve to know? I don't care who the party is or what they are affiliated with.
And both sides are guilty of this. Dianne Feinstein, may she, recover, rest. I'm not even sure she's even still alive. She was up on serving in Congress. Some days it seemed had no clue where she was. You know, some of our elected officials are beyond their poll dates with being able to do your job. You know, I understand that seniority in Congress has value. As you spend more and more time in Congress, you gain more power. You sit on better committees, appropriations committees, defense committees, whatever it is. You can do more for your constituency. I understand the value of tenure
Absolutely.
and seniority in our elected officials, but there comes a point. You know, we wouldn't let Mitch McConnell drive to work. The DMV has better standards because letting the guy get behind the wheel of a car than Congress has, whether or not he can do his job. There's a point where elected officials, if they can't perform the duties that we elect them to do, they shouldn't be sitting in office.
Yeah, I think, I haven't given my opinion on this, and I think the line for me, if it becomes longer, then I would say...
Well,
I'm thinking
it's been 3 weeks.
I think it can't be any longer than a month before we have to get a legit update. Shoot, I didn't get to the other main story.
Are they going to? Is it going to be August 4th? They're going to let us know he's not.
Okay, listen. I didn't get to my other story, so I guess we'll have to do it in the next segment.
Yeah. Sure.
But for now,
Hey,
we want to
you're
get an
driving this
update
bus.
on the
Let's do it,
roads.
man.
Speaking of driving, I love these awkward, my attempt at a good transition. Laura, you can smooth things out, at least in your delivery, right?
Oh, sure. Tukwila southbound I-5 at 405, a collision just cleared, and the backup is getting better very quickly. Seattle to Federal Way, though, a 5-minute slowdown. Eastbound 90 at Factoria, that is all clear. Southbound I-5, still pretty heavy. Federal Way to the T-Dome, we're looking now at a 17-minute slowdown. Bellevue to Everett, now an hour 6 minutes, and Seattle to Everett, an hour 8 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
State Senator Jamie Peterson drafted one of the state's most progressive taxes to date, the income tax on millionaires.
Engaging conversation.
We pay teachers the 4th highest of any state in the country.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
The Seahawks! They're bringing it home again!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Olympic Hot Tub's All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event is here. Now's the time to save thousands on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna, with up to 3 years to pay for it, interest-free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live-edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com.
Hi, I'm Marla at Sky Nursery with a heads up that gardening in July has its challenges. Seattle summer drought can cause plants to droop in just a matter of hours, and rabbits and aphids can get a little out of hand in your garden, especially if you have any travel plans this summer. That's where an experienced Sky gardener can make a difference with down-to-earth and sustainable solutions to all manner of gardening quagmires. After all, you deserve to enjoy a beautiful, thriving summer garden without having to learn the hard way first. We can help. Head to skynursery.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, you.
We're back. I'm Angela, along with Spike. We're filling in for John Curley today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Okay, we were talking about the status of Senator Mitch McConnell, wishing him well in terms of whatever he's going through with his health, and asking the question of, where does their privacy end and the public interest begin? But the second part of the story that we didn't get to is there's a little behind the scenes thing that a lot of news organizations do, and that is we will prepare obituaries or, in memoriam things before people die. Yes. And it'll be, and unfortunately, it sounds like The Hill released a video. They're saying it was a compilation of his
a tribute to his life's accomplishments,
and it was accidentally, I guess it went onto some server, and it was posted, and that wasn't good. And I think so much of this is the necessity for this is driven by the 24-hour news cycle and social media because
of the urgency and immediacy needed.
Because here's the truth: if someone big dies, and you immediately turn on the TV or the radio, so you want to be able to get coverage of it right then, right?
You want to be first with the news, absolutely.
So that's what they've done.
But somebody accidentally released it to the website before. It should have been released to the website. Not to be disrespectful, when Rosalind Carter passed away, former First Lady Rosalind Carter, and we saw President Carter at the service, and he was literally in a hospital chair, and it was like it's just any day now. And with regard to married couples especially, people in love and together as long as the Carters were, a lot of couples go together very quickly. And I don't mean any disrespect. I'll tell you what, the package for Jimmy Carter was in a drawer, ready to go. We had the obituary printed out here in the studio.
Right. So you do it here too?
For months. That thing sat there for months. And Jimmy Carter just stayed with us.
And so y'all, okay.
And we never, it's not like we released it. We, in memoriam. Somebody's looking for work this morning at the Hill for putting that up on the website today before it was ready to go. And I want to address the texter who said, my take on Mitch McConnell was hypocritical because Joe Biden's health and blah, 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 blah. I will tell you first, before anybody else, that I was embarrassed as a Democrat with the amount of cloak and dagger being committed by my party, by the Democratic Party, with the true nature of Joe Biden's physical condition and his mental condition and his health. The people propping up Joe Biden behind the scenes, who were, hiding the fact that he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that. What we saw at the debate stage, you see people like Nancy Pelosi or whomever else it may have been in Democratic circles saying he's sharp as a tack and he's this, that, and the other thing, and he runs circles around all of us and he works 29 hours a day. That clearly wasn't the case. And I'll call my own out as much as anybody else's team about disingenuous representation of our elected officials. We deserve better from President Biden. We deserve better sometimes from the people that are sitting in office right now. We want the truth. I don't want an official White House doctor telling me that Donald Trump can climb 5,000 stairs in 20 minutes because that ain't the case. And we hear that the guy's got, unlimited physical powers. He's an Adonis. No, give us a straight skinny.
Listen, I'm in denial too, okay? I had my first, full eye exam, and it's like, wow,
I'm over here, Angela. Over here.
Wow.
Over here, bud. Oh, I know. I'm honest about, look at me. I'm not running any marathons. I can't even drive a marathon. I don't think I can drive 26 miles in a row. But your first question about the McConnell story was what we deserve is the truth and accountability.
Yeah.
If our elected officials aren't accountable to those people that they're elected to serve, what do we got? We've got nothing.
Yeah. And well, look, while I think you're right, I love when people are able to remove party and just look at what's right, what is right and what is wrong. And you just said you didn't like what happened with your party at that time.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah. And I want to acknowledge that in this case, Biden at least was making appearances. They were concerning ones, but they were appearances.
We were
in this
getting
case,
smoked.
we haven't had an appearance. It's been 3 weeks,
If the man has been unconscious for 3 weeks, I mean, I don't know, and I'm really not a conspiracy theorist, but if this guy's been unconscious for 3 weeks and we've got elected officials saying I just talked to him on the phone,
that would be concerning.
A news commentator is one thing. If Senator Thune is telling me I had a phone conversation with this guy and he's recovering, and we want to give him time and respect his privacy while he recovers, you know what? He's got enough strength to get on a 30-second FaceTime with America and say thanks for your love and support.
Yeah, go on Fox News or News Nation or
just take a Polaroid holding up today's newspaper and prove that he's not
proof
dead.
of life, man. I don't think it's asking too much, and I'd ask it from my side as well. So
yeah. All right. Well, it was a good conversation.
It was.
Glad we had it.
And if you worked at the Hill, don't call us. We don't have a spot for you.
Lori, how are things going in your world?
Well, traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. We have this new problem. It's 167 northbound. It's on the ramp to 15th as well as in the main line. So keep to your left heading past there, northbound 167, eastbound 512 near Steel Street. The left lane is partly blocked. It looks like maybe a stall. Someone's outside their car, so just take some caution passing that. Southbound I-5 slows Federal Way all the way to the Tacoma Dome, a 30-minute commute. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 6 minutes. Seattle to Everett, an hour and 8 minutes. And, of course, the Link Light train still not operating. Save big during July. Buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. DrMarkWagnerMD.com. Make an appointment at DrMarkWagnerMD.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Spike and the Impalers are playing a free cookout, and we would love for you to join us. Saturday, July 18th at 1 o'clock at Aegis Living in Ballard. Great food is a founding principle at Aegis Living, and their chefs from all around the Northwest will be on hand to prepare their best for you. And Aegis Living President Chef Dirk and I are having a fun little cook-off to showcase our favorite recipes. There'll be free food and wine tastings, $2,000 in raffle prizes, and a rooftop performance from Spike and the Impalers. That's Saturday, July 18th at 1 o'clock at Aegis Living in Ballard. RSVP today at aegisliving.com/KIRO.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Officials in the region say Iran responded to overnight U.S. strikes by launching strikes toward neighboring countries, including Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan.
Right now, no clarity as to when it might end. But another interesting fact, what we've heard from the president is he's been very clear that strikes are coming. Both what we saw earlier this day on 2 days of strikes so far, he has telegraphed that they are coming. It's kind of a message being sent to Iran right there as well.
ABC's Louis Martinez. A source says Democrat Graham Plattner privately told staff he plans to officially file paperwork to withdraw from the Maine Senate race on Monday, the day of the deadline to get himself off the November ballot. A lawyer for the family of 18-year-old Nolan Wells says it will conduct an independent autopsy following the 18-year-old's death while celebrating 4th of July with friends. Attorney Ben Crump saying the family has concerns about Mississippi authorities investigating the death of a young black man. This is ABC News. Court documents reveal federal prosecutors have charged 3 more individuals with destruction of property for allegedly removing pieces of blue paint from the reflecting pool at the Lincoln Memorial. A former Olympic canoeist charged with felony destruction of property has pleaded not guilty.
The brief hearing in D.C. Superior Court had former Olympian David Hearn entering a not guilty plea. Attorney Norm Eisen.
It is not a crime to touch the reflecting pool, to touch water in the United States of America.
In an interview with ABC News shortly after his arrest, Hearn insisted he only touched a loose piece of blue liner and didn't rip or tear anything. Prosecutors have charged Hearn with felony destruction of property, a crime that's punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Syria's interior minister reported the cell responsible for the terrorist bombings that targeted Damascus during the French President Emmanuel Macron's visit 2 days ago is now in custody. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, how it sounded when a man attacked a Metro bus with a machete. That's after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
And traffic is brought to you by Seattle Mariners. Joe and I have been talking with Jesse. There's a fire response on 167. It's northbound at 15th, and it looks like there's 2 spots. We are seeing smoke and definitely seeing the slowdown, both northbound at 167 before and after 15th. So you might want to avoid that or at least keep to your right there. Eastbound 512 near Steel Street. We have the left lane blocked. Southbound I-5 Federal Way to the T-Dome, a 35-minute commute. And don't miss Firework Nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the 2000s Decade Show, July 17th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Footage from the day a man allegedly smashed up a King County Metro bus with a machete has now been made public.
KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
A bus driver pulled up to 4th and Jackson around 12:25 last Thursday morning, and a man loaded his pink bike on the bicycle rack. The driver recognized the guy. He says a month earlier, he kicked his bus's door and broke a window. Not only that,
oh, you got assaulted, man. You got assaulted, bro.
The driver wouldn't let him on. In security footage from the bus, you can see the guy drop the bicycle and start bashing the bus with a machete. Daniel Couch pleaded not guilty Thursday to second-degree malicious mischief, a felony, which could get him up to 5 years in prison if he's convicted. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A widower and his family are suing the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. They claim the agency ignored warning signs from the man who shot and killed Ana Kwan and her unborn daughter as she waited at a stoplight. The family's attorney tells KIRO 7 TV the suspect was in the agency's care at the time of that 2023 shooting in Belltown.
There was a pretty clear systemic failure here, and this tragedy was completely preventable if people had done their jobs.
The suspect, Cordell Gooseby, was found not guilty by reason of insanity. He remains at Western State Hospital. The KCRHA says it cannot comment on pending litigation. Just when we were catching a break at the pump, prices may be going back up. KIRO Radio's Jillian Raftery with more.
The average for a gallon has gone down about 60 cents in the last month in Washington, from $5.60 to $4.99. Diesel is down 70 cents. But the U.S. and Iran have started trading strikes again. The U.S. has revoked Iran's license to sell oil, and Ukraine has been attacking Russian refineries. The national average is up 5 cents overnight to $3.84. Washington's prices are down 1 cent for now. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
The competition to buy the Seattle Seahawks may be down to just two groups. That's according to Front Office Sports. One being led by a minority owner of the Boston Celtics and a former majority owner of that team. The other group is headed by a minority owner of the San Francisco 49ers. So your forecast now, we are looking at sunny skies at this hour. Tomorrow, though, look for more clouds and highs in the low 70s for tomorrow and again on Saturday. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the John Curley Show. I'm Angela Poe Russell filling in along with the incredible Spike O'Neill. It's having fun yet?
I have a blast. I love it.
Listen, I am so psyched for this hour. I'm coming in hot. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, do it, babe.
Okay, so what happens when a city buries its head in the sand? Problems grow. So I'm going to take you on a little journey and we can talk about it. We'll do one at a time, talk about it, okay? So you may have heard the headline probably here on KIRO Radio or some other news outlet about this stabbing in the University District. And as I see it, a symptom of a bigger problem. So this is a 39-year-old man confronted someone who he said was stealing bikes in the area, and the person stabbed him. So this is in the U District of Seattle. So let me tell you about this area because I spend a lot of time there. You know how there are certain streets in Seattle where people doing drugs just congregate?
Oh, yeah. Far too many of them.
It's one of those areas. And when I tell you that going by, there'll be one block of the area that is just beautiful and people are walking on their e-bikes or whatever and they're having a good time. And then all of a sudden there's a big group of people just doing drugs. So I had a friend staying in this same area. There were people doing drugs outside of the unit. One time she woke up on Sunday morning, there was smoke outside of her window. But the point I'm making is, for all the people who say that someone doing drugs is a victimless crime or a victimless thing, it's BS. Because it breeds all kinds of things when it comes out together. It's a health and safety issue.
Yeah.
It's not caring about them to let them just stay there and do it. And as she saw, you could set my place on fire. I mean, we're talking glass, smoke, pipes. It's like a horror movie out there. And of course, you get these things that then happen, like the stabbing.
It's bad for business. But how many business owners have complained to the city about, I've got people sleeping in the front of my store. I've got drugs being done in front of my store. And the city will come through and do a sweep, and 24 hours later, because we don't have the capacity in jails to hold folks. We didn't, for a long time, didn't prosecute, and we still don't prosecute open drug use, open air drug use. How is, what to your point about a city puts its head in the sand, what do you expect you're going to have happen?
Right, yeah, let's let 30 people doing drugs just hang out on this street and, they'll be fine. When they're ready to get help, they'll come get it.
That's a bigger problem for the city is the low barrier housing model that this city pursues with regard to its homeless situation, because the homeless situation is a drug addiction situation. It's a mental health situation.
Yes.
The breakdown, I'm not sure how accurate it is. Last I saw, they say about a third of folks experiencing homelessness are financially in trouble. It's financially based. A third of it is drug based. A third of it is mental health based. There's a lot of crossover in all those different factors. But if you're not going to make open air drug use illegal, is it because we don't have the resources?
No, that's not it. They said it. It's because they feel like it's not they don't want to criminalize addiction. And this isn't about, the way I see it, isn't about criminalizing addiction. It's about giving them some kind of wake-up call or being able to get sober for a few days so they can actually think and get into treatment. So that's the way I see it. But I'm actually going to pivot and go to this other story.
Sure.
Because Aaron actually touched on it, but I want to dive a little deeper. Because this is another example of what happens when you bury your head in the sand and you don't do anything about it and you allow things to fester. So husband and wife driving home, or they were on their way to work, I think. She's pregnant with their second child. A man shoots, random person comes up to the car, she's shot and killed. The wife and her unborn baby, shot and killed. The person responsible declared not guilty by reason of insanity.
This is Gooseby, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
now, before you get upset, let's just dive, because I know in the headlines we can always dive a little deeper. But this was concerning. The surviving husband is suing the King County Housing Authority, the King County Regional Homelessness Authority.
Yeah.
Because they said that they basically did nothing to act. They had warning that he was declining and that Gooseby was actually asking for help.
Right.
He was telling them, I am having suicidal ideations of actually hurting people. Let me give you some of the things that this lawsuit says. And this was, I want to give credit to the Seattle Times for putting all of this together. But Gooseby reached out to the agency for help. The supervisor told evaluators he didn't take Gooseby's statements about committing drive-by shootings as serious threats, says the lawsuit. By early 2023, the King County Regional Homelessness Authority was receiving regular complaints from his apartment managers. He verbalized paranoid delusions and got into admitted he was getting into fights with strangers, displayed increasingly aggressive behavior. The day before this young woman was shot and killed, he told a staff member that he needed to leave fast before he hurt someone, and alternated between crying and rage. This lawsuit lays out and has the facts to back it up that was likely used in the criminal case, was begging for help, saw there was an issue and could not get help. And I don't know if you've ever navigated the system, but I can tell you all listening that I personally have had to navigate some of the systems here. And I call myself a privileged woman because I, know people, I have an income, I have a place to stay. It was awful, incompetent. Or I don't know.
Was it in bureaucracy? Was
yes,
it just?
It's yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so I'm listening to how we failed this couple. We failed the unborn baby. You can't, what part of you, even if you don't know what to do, you call.
They failed the Mr. Gooseby. They failed they failed the criminal. Well, the mentally insane, the mentally incompetent. I'm trying to be careful with my words here. They failed him as well. He begged for help. This is why the city has to budget $1 billion in their biannual budget to settle lawsuits, because the King County Regional Homeless Authority was tasked with caring for individuals who have needs. There was resources dedicated to caring for this individual, which means more than caring for the individual, it's caring for the community that he is in. He's repeatedly asking for help. It's ignored. Threats that I'm doing drive-by shootings aren't taken seriously.
And he was in the system.
That's what I'm saying.
He had a file.
It's not like they couldn't find the guy on the streets while he was screaming.
Yeah.
He was in their care.
He was in their care and telling them, I need help. And actually like saying he was going to, like he was struggling. And so nobody gets justice here. You know, he can't, I mean, they're suing this agency, but he can't get his wife back. He can't get his child back. He can't get his life back. Goosby's now in what's the name of and Western State. Yeah. It's just.
This case in particular was probably a big factor in King County and the city of Seattle basically taking control of the King County Regional Homeless Authority.
They're going to decide, I think, next month whether or not to terminate it completely or to see what's in
I thought they decided already that they were going to just do the budget cut. And
they're essentially they've got hundreds of contracts within the King County Regional Homeless Authority.
They're
taking
over
back control of almost all of those contracts. Not all of them, but most of them. And then whatever's left, I think that's what's left to be decided.
Well, I mean, it's really easy to say, look, the King County Regional Homeless Authority was a complete failure. They weren't good stewards of the resources available to them. They didn't provide the services they were tasked to provide. And I understand, it was horrifically run. There was a lot of waste and abuse of resources. But I mean, I want to just remind others and myself sometimes that it's a difficult task. It was undertaken at an impossible time. Mm-hmm. You're trying to start something up from scratch to address a situation that was getting worse continuously because of financial constraints, because of the city's lack of affordability, because of COVID-19, all these different factors.
You're being so generous. And I appreciate that. But what about this part? Because the lawsuit says the agency didn't have protocols or train frontline staff on when or how to alert law enforcement or initiate a crisis response when program participants pose a danger.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were trying to build this airplane in flight, to grab the analogy.
Okay,
they're trying to build a system to help.
Yeah, but that's
a community.
3 years in.
No, I hear you, man. They will settle with this family because they don't have a leg to stand on.
No.
And I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback, okay?
No, we should be.
I mean, okay.
Otherwise, we repeat the same mistakes.
Because we have to learn from it and do better, right?
Yes.
But it just seems to me if you're starting an agency that's dealing with the homelessness community, that part of that is, what if someone's dangerous? What do we do?
Shouldn't that be the first thing you figure out how to put together? Is alerting law enforcement community that we've got a guy who's threatening and is violent and says he can't control himself and he's going to do terrible things if we don't help him? Shouldn't it be the first process put into place?
I know that I can't imagine how complicated this work is. I want to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And we keep doing this over and over. I think about the woman who was was she a dog walker in Madrona and killed by someone who was mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And these people that are seeking help and not getting it. And that case was different. But my point is, there are always signs.
Well, I always hear the industrial homeless complex. I'm like, oh, that's just a boogeyman. It doesn't really. No, there's something to that. There's an industry that's risen up around helping people, and sometimes all the money does is support the industry and not the people it's designed to help.
That part.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
hope,
heartbreaking.
What I hope, I am praying that we don't have to Monday morning quarterback this decision to turn the stadium cameras off.
Well,
Stadium District. I hope that we don't have to Monday morning quarterback and say, see, we would have had the cameras.
Well, this is an interesting story to me because the mayor has decided that reluctantly the mayor decided to use these surveillance cameras in the Stadium District during FIFA World Cup events in Seattle, because the mayor was finally convinced by a cadre of 50 different agencies, federal, state, and local, that there was a risk. There was not an imminent threat, but assumed risk.
I think you're having a global event.
And being the only city of World Cup host cities that wasn't using surveillance at the venues made us the softest target in the U.S. And that's what convinced the mayor to turn these cameras on. Now, the day the World Cup was over, Tuesday morning, the cameras in the Stadium District were turned off. The day after the games were ended. Meanwhile, cameras in the CID are still on. Cameras on Aurora Avenue are still being used. It's just the Stadium District cameras that are turned off.
And because I finally could walk around there and things were good. So here's what I want to tell Mayor Wilson. I have loved so far I always think you're doing a good job when you tick off people who are on both sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You take off your supporters.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're just care to make one side happy, you're not doing a good job.
And I feel like coming out and saying, well, I'm delivering on this promise, whatever. And I want you to know it is okay to change your mind. It is okay that you said earlier, you know what? I had planned to turn these off once the World Cup is over. But after seeing how successful this was and after, seeing, hey, we haven't had as many incidents or whatever.
Yeah. Well, there were basically zero incidents.
I'm changing my mind. And that's my prerogative.
Well,
and you know what? She's realizing already, because I see no matter what she does, she has these supporters who are some of her supporters are ultra left, and they get mad at everything she does because it's not extreme enough.
Right.
And then you're going to get, so Mayor Wilson, you're going to make everybody mad, okay, when you're doing it right. Because when you're leading, there is no perfect decision. There is no. So the concerns with having the cameras on is that with immigration enforcement and them, detaining people in an illegal way, completely get that. And of course, just privacy concerns, data, understand all that. But we are at a tipping point. Our area is in terms of who we want to be as a city and how we want public safety to appear or to be.
There's an audit being held right now.
Yes.
Of the surveillance, and it's coming up early next month. What I'm hoping, and Jake and I had this conversation yesterday with the president of Seattle Police Officers Guild. This is a tool that law enforcement needs, that counts on. Sometimes it's the only evidence available to law enforcement are these cameras that witness crimes in real-time, recorded time. There's a stored database of information, and it's the only witness to a lot of crimes. So that when this audit is completed in August, I personally feel like, look, the mayor has concerns about privacy, whether or not information of Seattle's citizenry is being used for improper methods of federal immigration enforcement, federal law enforcement in conflict with state laws. That's the mayor's concerns about privacy. There have been legislative reassurances offered this mayor that no, the safeguards are put in place with regard to how the information is stored, who has access to the information, how long it's stored, all these different elements. If this audit convinces the mayor that her concerns with regard to privacy are being addressed, won't the common sense use of give the police every tool in their arsenal to fight crime and keep the city safe? Doesn't that merit turning these cameras on? My hope is that since these other cameras are going to be on and stay on, that she comes to the common sense reality that instead of super serving a smaller section of your constituency that's screaming for privacy control, how about taking care of and working with the larger portion of your constituency that wants a safe city, a place you can work, shop, play, go to school. Aurora Avenue North, these with the pimp wars, families who can't live in their homes.
You're really trying to get me going by bringing that up.
I'm with you. So what's it going to take for the mayor to look at, is privacy a problem? Sure. Is federal intrusion into state community policing a problem? Oftentimes it is. Is a bigger problem that people don't feel safe to come and start a business, do business, shop in the city, raise their kids in the city?
Who's taking a priority? Who's getting the priority?
Exactly. So
that's my question.
My hope. Jake's worried that once the audit comes in, that they will shut down even more of these cameras, surveillance cameras. And I guess we'll have to find out, how good's the audit?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this audit entails because.
Well, it's supposed to be telling us if the assurances that have been given by legislation, are they in fact strong enough to provide these security?
Has our network been breached by the federal government without a warrant, essentially?
Yeah, and those are valid concerns.
Your IT guy should be able to tell you that in about 8 seconds. But this audit, which seems like it's been going on for months.
Now, Mayor Wilson she's newer to Seattle, right? A decade, maybe. Is she newer? Like 10? I have to look that up.
I don't know if she was born and raised here, but
she wasn't born and raised here, but she's young.
Yeah.
I want to tell her, like, Mayor Wilson, we love to study things here in Seattle, and feel free to, do something different. I'm all for some good research, okay?
You know me. Be informed.
But I'm saying we don't need months. We tend to have our Seattle process, and this is a great opportunity to break free.
Yeah, about the time we figure something out, they elect a new legislative body, and they come in and start all over again. I've seen the process dozens of times.
By the way, she's been here.
God, I feel like I've been the grumpy person for the last 20 minutes. But it's for a good reason.
You care about the city, man.
Yes, I don't want to have another couple have their lives changed in this way.
Lives ruined.
No, absolutely not. Okay, let's transition to traffic. Lori's in.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. We still have this big incident going on, 167 at 15th. It's northbound. Looks like a brush fire, so you're backed up all the way to Algona. Hearing about an accident now, State Route 203, right at the roundabout at 124th. I am seeing delays through there. Eastbound 512 at Seal Street, we had a collision or a stall actually in the left lane. Looks like that may have moved. Southbound I-5 Federal Way to the T-Dome, you're going to see an 11-minute slowdown. Seattle to Everett, hour 3 minutes. Oh, also Bellevue to Everett, an hour 3 minutes. And if you're heading to Federal Way from Bellevue, that's almost, it's under an hour at 53. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO, Real-Time Traffic.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodness.
All different flavors. The goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to the team at Puget Sound Express, July is possibly the best month of the entire year for whale watching. Summer is when many whale watching cruises have a chance to see Bigg's killer whales and humpback whales on the same trip. Last week, tours spotted 10 different orca families and dozens of humpbacks who are busy feeding in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It's a terrific time to get on the water and see marine wildlife. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. Make this the summer you start to relax and feel better right in your own home. During our All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event, enjoy liberating savings on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna, with up to 3 years to pay for it interest-free. A soak or swim under the stars, a sauna after a long day. Celebrate feeling better today. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. It has been about a 10-hour standstill for light rail trains in North Seattle today. Service suspended between the Northgate and Capitol Hill stations due to a mechanical issue. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Audley reports from Capitol Hill.
Northbound, now approaching. Riders have been rerouted on buses, filling in the gaps.
Because of my disability, it's a lot for me because I can't walk that fast.
It started around 6:30 this morning when that mechanical issue damaged a small area of the overhead power system near UW.
We're going to take a shuttle headed north.
Sound Transit tells us stopping traffic allows crews to inspect the issue and fix it.
Still no ETA for when service will return. A 21-year-old Belfair man is among 8 suspects indicted today for allegedly plotting an attack on last month's UFC cage fighting event at the White House. William Faulkner now faces federal conspiracy charges for his alleged role in the thwarted drone and sniper plots. Washington election officials pushing back after the U.S. Department of Justice accused the state of allowing non-citizens to vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
Citing the National Voter Registration Act, the DOJ has given Secretary of State Steve Hobbs 5 days to respond to accusations Washington is allowing non-citizens to vote or else face possible criminal prosecution. State Attorney General Nick Brown recently denied similar claims about mail-in voting fraud.
When you see these bogus claims, think about it. Ask for evidence. Ask hard questions. Don't just accept it.
Hobbs' office calls the DOJ's letter an attempt to resurrect disproven claims about rigged elections, and they're reviewing to see if the DOJ's request is even legal. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Revive I-5 is coming back. WashDOT gearing up for more repair work on the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors says closure starts tomorrow night.
All northbound lanes were going to close from I-90 up to 45th, while WashDOT crews prep the bridge for work that'll start on Monday when they reopen the bridge to the public. Now, this time, the 2 right lanes are going to be blocked as opposed to the 2 left lanes. What that means is the Roanoke on-ramp is not going to be accessible during the duration of this project, which is through the end of the year.
And only the express lanes will be open northbound on I-5. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Northbound I-5, the off-ramp to 405 in Tukwila, we have a new accident. Northbound 167 at 15th, we have that brush fire. It's taking up at least the right lane. You're backed up all the way to Ellingston. Eastbound 512 near Steele, it looks like that incident has cleared. Southbound I-5, Federal Way to Tacoma, a 23-minute drive. Seattle to Everett, under an hour now at 58. Bellevue to Everett is an hour, 2 minutes. And if you're heading to Federal Way out of Bellevue, it'll take you 56 minutes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And now to your forecast. Sunshine this afternoon, clouds tomorrow, and again on Saturday. Some pockets of light rain are possible, and highs will be in the low 70s for Friday and Saturday. Right now, 75 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of the John Curley Show brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Angela Poe Russell.
Yes, I'm having a good time having these rich discussions with you, Spike.
Blowing off a little steam.
Yes.
Letting out a little frustration, a little anxiety.
You know what? I
right?
feel really good.
Good.
Because sometimes you just got to speak your mind.
You do.
We
Gotta
do that
spit
a
out the
lot.
poison.
Yep, we do that a
Gotta
lot
do
here
it,
on
man.
KIRO Radio. If you need to speak your mind, hey, look, this is a safe space. Do it. Just, be respectful. 888-973-5476, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line.
Love to hear your input.
There was a big announcement from Meta. They have a new AI image generator. It's Muse. It's the name of it, Muse, M-U-S-E. It'll be available on Instagram and WhatsApp. And they wrote a blog about it. It's coming from their super intelligence labs. And so you'll be able to take an image, put yourself anywhere, make yourself into something like
Sure.
it's AI to.
I could be riding shirtless on the back of a tank with an eagle on my shoulder.
Yes.
Holding an American flag. You may have seen that image elsewhere. That's AI generated.
I love that you said that because I was trying to think of a way to describe it, and that was perfect.
I mean, if me riding a bull, me wrestling a bull by the horns to the ground, shirt off.
Okay,
pecs
this sounds
flacked.
great.
It's AI.
Do you like this idea?
I like the idea of being able to just play with images like that. It's a toy. It's a tool. You can use it for practical business purposes. You can do it all. Problem is then these guys have your image. And when you agree to use their product, you agree to let them use your image. Next thing you know, you're featured in an AI ad selling butt cream. Hemorrhoid cream, excuse me. And they can use your image because you've given them license to do so.
Well,
if you think AI was scary before, think of me selling that. That's terrifying.
Here's why people have a problem with this particular product. So it's baked into their AI, chat bot, which exists in their Meta AI products. But if you have a public Facebook profile or a public Instagram profile, then you've already opted in. So anybody can say, show me Spike riding a bull, Spike in Seattle riding a bull.
And because I've got a Facebook page, they can use my face.
They can use your face.
Yeah.
And they can use so basically they're just, the public thing is, hey, this is fun. You can make your friends riding bulls next to Spike O'Neill. But what they're really doing is just training their AI models with all of our data, all of our imagery, all of our content that we're already using. The easy fix to do it, to opt out right now is just to switch your profile to private. So if you're not so easy. Some people, what
does that do to your ability to reach your friends and share your dinner pictures, whatever it might be that you're using social media for?
Nothing. If you're already friends, if they're following you or you're following them, then this doesn't affect that at all.
It keeps you from access to the greater world seeing your posts and profiles
without having to send you a follow request or so probably a good idea anyway this day and age. But if you don't do that, there's a couple of hoops you have to go through. It's not the easiest thing to just flip the little toggle to make it to opt out of this thing. And so there are some instructions you have to follow to get that done. But it's another kind of like putting a mask on something. They're saying that, hey, this is just a good way to be creative and everybody can make funny AI videos with their friends. But what you're really doing is you're handing over everything that you've done on any Meta platform from the beginning of their existence till now, and we're training their
we're giving
AI.
Giving them permission to use us to train their
Yep.
Yeah.
And
do we just give up? Kind of like how we've given up with the whole Big Brother thing. We just assume now there are cameras everywhere, except the Stadium District. We just assume now there are cameras everywhere.
The only place you can go and have any privacy.
There's some there too. We just don't know about.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm sure businesses have some cameras out there.
Is it too late to protect your image and your likeness from AI?
Is it gone?
I think it may be. I mean, there are so many avenues for our personal information, not just our image. I mean, facial recognition software is everywhere. Yeah. We're fighting desperately to keep it contained with regard to its ability to intrude into our space and our privacy and our intellectual, our face. I don't think there's any putting the genie back in the bottle.
I think for all of us in this room, and probably for most people listening, yes, that's true. Or you're not going to scrape back all of your embarrassing pictures, all of your, whatever's out there is out there. You're not getting it back. But moving forward, when thinking
You can
about your kids,
stop the feed.
when you're thinking about your kids or how they're using these products, and if you just had a baby, then do not post their stuff. If you don't want AI learning about
Next
that,
thing you know, your baby's selling food and you get no residuals.
like we have become the product for these companies. So yeah, you might as well just opt out moving forward.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we know that AI is so unreliable and can, just have its own
Hallucinations, they call it.
Okay,
It convinces
so
itself. It's like a self. We use bad information, and we then built our assessments on this bad information. We use the bad assessment we just made to further, even go more perverted and more hallucinated information to people. It can't be trusted.
Yeah. Someone I know, friend of a friend, he uses a wheelchair, and Meta recently shut down his Instagram account for having inappropriate something with children or whatever. And it was like, if you look at his stuff, I think it must be AI that scans all this stuff, and he's in a wheelchair and does workout videos. So I'm like, did they think he was a kid? Because there's nothing inappropriate on his TikTok. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
It's like the ability to differentiate and make those, distinctions. But
my nephew, my son-in-law, that was a nice Freudian slip. My son-in-law is in coding. And he's, of course, concerned about what AI means for the future of his livelihood and his career. But he's telling me now that it seems of late his employer's smart enough to know that they do a lot of work with AI. The AI is expanding into the realm of what their company does. But he is the bulwark of testing AI. Instead of running his work through AI to see if it's right, they're running AI's work through him as a set of human eyes to make sure that this isn't a ridiculous assessment of what we're talking about. This is the complete, you haven't hallucinated.
AI is a lovely assistant, and I hope it stays that way. And I was going to take a side road, and I'm going to stay focused because the other Meta news is that one of their spokesperson came out and just said that right now they have 4 states that are seeking a total of $1.4 trillion in penalties for claims that they designed Facebook and Instagram to be addictive in children. Mm-hmm. And they're basically saying, these amounts of $1.4 trillion, that's more than our valuation, and this is not sane and not whatever. But the fact that 4 states, I want to say it's New Jersey, California, a couple of, New Jersey, California, Kentucky, Colorado. And I
would say they're the first 4 states.
Yeah, attorneys saying this is addictive. Yeah. But children is just the beginning. Being honest, how many older adults have you seen that can't get off Instagram?
Instagram? That's not me. I'm older than you. For me, it's Facebook. I get locked in. John's an Instagram addict. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: the Instagram or Facebook, together that's one. Meta had their trial in Los Angeles about whether or not their product was designed to have addictive qualities to it, to get people engaged and to keep them engaged and to keep feeding the dopamine rushes in their brain. They actually cited in that trial that Meta had emails proving they use the same experts that teach Las Vegas how to make their slot machines addictive, how to cycle the reward patterns to engage the human and not let them out of the loop. They use these addictive properties to design their algorithms. I mean, the evidence is in. The accusation of these 4 states that you've used addictive tendencies and properties to build your model to get young people sucked into your business model, to keep eyeballs in there and not let them leave. Oh, we put little things in place. We ask every 4 or 5 minutes, you sure you want to keep scrolling? Let's go outside, touch some grass or something? That's not nearly enough of a safeguard to have these addictive, qualities about their product. Yeah. This is another case. And the $1.4 trillion, is it more than your company's worth? Yeah, because that's the only way we can get your attention. What do you want, a $1 million fine? That's couch change. You have to make penalties penalizing. You have to make them hurtful. Otherwise, there's no incentive to change.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick Brown, Attorney General of Washington, let's get on this. I got kids that worry about getting addicted to social media.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, well, thank you, Spike. Thank you all for listening. Still more to come. Let's get to Lori in traffic right now.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. So the incident northbound on 167 at 15th Southwest has cleared, but the secondary incident at 4th Street is still blocking, and that's in the right lane, backing you up all the way to Ellingston. Seattle to Tacoma, 55 minutes. Seattle to Everett, we're looking at 57 minutes, and Bellevue to Everett, 58, all under an hour. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Subscribe to the Jake and Spike YouTube channel and watch live or later.
I have 2 big gripes from my coworkers who I thought were friends, but I'm realizing are just a bunch of jerks. I had about 10 conversations with massive amounts of green salad stuff.
Oh, no. Nobody told you?
In my teeth. I'm a common man. I like having conversations.
I didn't bother to tell you.
Why didn't they just say something? I wouldn't take it as an insult.
Jake and Spike, noon to 3 on KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want
Clinic?
to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, I want to introduce you guys to a brand new sponsor to the show. I'm very excited to welcome Phil Mitchell from Sunset Auto Family. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Hey, thanks, Jake. Nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I want to jump right into something that you guys offer that is such a benefit to anybody out there looking for a vehicle. You guys have 48-hour used vehicle exchange. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Well, basically, we want to take the fear out of buying a pre-owned vehicle. So we give you 48 hours. You take the car home, you decide if you like it. And if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you bring it back, and we try to find you something you do like.
All right. So let's say a scenario. I see something I love. I'm worried that it's not going to be there next time. So I jump on it real fast. And then I get it home to my garage, and it doesn't fit. I can bring it back?
You can bring it back, and we'll find you something that does fit. It just takes all the fear out of it. There's no more guilty feelings. You don't have to be stuck with it for 5 years or 10 years. You bring it back, we find you something that works.
Sunset Kia in Auburn, Sunset Ford, and Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all.
That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, July 10th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Music. I always love the music on this show.
Me too.
I think, yeah, got good
That's it,
taste.
Andrew, you picked that or does Joe pick that?
Andrew.
Nicely done.
All
my
right,
friend.
I like it. All right, shall we go off topic?
Let's do it, man.
The
Let's read some
letters of the
Yeah,
day. You
yeah,
want to kick us off?
Sure. Ann in Renton says, I love you guys. Such a good, tight show.
Yay. Andrea
Thank you,
Lake.
Ann.
Hey, Andrea and Lake, and I don't know if it's Andrea and Lake Taps. Good show today. Angela and Spike. And then Tito and Lacey.
I'm loving the show. Look at that's really
All
so
these
nice.
all these compliments.
Oh, look at Jesse B says, ask Spike if Spike and the Impalers are ever going to play Binford's Friday Field of Dreams. I'm good friends with the Binfords. It's a huge gathering of car folk. Well, you're friends with the Binfords. Drop my name.
Okay, so you'd like to.
I would love to. We play anywhere.
Okay, so Jesse, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
You're playing Aegis.
Oh my gosh, we're doing an open house. The band's playing a live Unplugs on the roof. We've got chefs coming in. There's a free food tasting,
when
free
is
wine
this?
tasting. Saturday 18th, 1 o'clock, Aegis Living in Ballard. It's an open house.
Aegis Living in Ballard.
Aegis Living in Ballard. Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Wow,
That's
at
so sweet
Aegis
of
you get entertainment like you guys?
Yeah, well, not only bringing us in. Usually it's a fife and drum team.
Okay, Fernando in Seattle says, yay, Angela.
Yeah, and
yay,
as well he should.
Fernando.
Rochelle, is it Rachel? I apologize.
I think
The
it's Rachel,
425. I was hoping to hear Angela this morning with G and Ursula since Ursula wasn't in, but but he flew solo, so I'm glad you're here now. They do love
that
you
is
here.
so nice. Okay, Elena in the 206. Angela, can you tell us about the Cajun Navy volunteer group helped in search of the missing teen? Oh, I'll have to look that up. I will look that up to talk about. Thank you.
The Cajun Navy is a volunteer organization that comes in and helps local law enforcement with search operations. They're
love
an
that.
incredible group of people. Lynn Ballard says, yay, I can listen to the Curly Show without Curly. Oh, stop it, you. John will be back tomorrow. We appreciate the kind words.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this proposal to have a life readiness course for high school seniors that's being proposed by our state superintendent. 425 said state legislators will not pass a law that requires students to take finance class. They don't want people to understand how the state spends so irresponsibly.
Boy, there's so much truth to that. Bill and Vaughn says, those who understand compound interest earn it. Those who don't, pay it.
Ooh.
Put that on a pillow. Put it on my couch. I need to read that every day.
Right? Jose from Bremerton. I think she's thinking about the STEM courses.
Well, STEM is more revolved with math,
Science.
Yeah. This is about life skills. We always say the kids graduate schools without the basic knowledge of understanding how to be a good citizen.
Yeah,
how to manage adulthood.
Yep.
It's a class in adulting. I should take one.
All right, 206. This really needs to happen. I took a personal finance class at Wazoo as an elective, and that course prepared me for the real world. The class should cover everything from insurance, credit cards, investing, 401k, Roth IRA. This should be taught during community period classes in high school.
That's what they're talking about. They're talking about an elective class that's required of all seniors, not one of your core programs. You'll get half a year's credit in financial literacy, half a year's credit in civics. I mean, we're not going to, if we don't know how to get involved in our own society, how can we expect it to survive?
Mm-hmm.
B&P Wallop says some parents don't know how to balance a budget. They were kids when they had kids. That's kind of where I found myself.
Yeah, because I think that was what you were sharing with everyone, how when you were younger, you didn't get taught a lot of it. And so then you pass those things down, right? You're like, yeah. So it's one of those things we often take for granted and we go with the information that we have.
And Superintendent Reichdahl said, look, we would love if parents, this is the job of, and Dennis in 253, Spike, you're right. This is the responsibility of the parents. I agree with you. But to Superintendent Reichdahl's point, if a family's not getting that at home, we want to make sure all kids get the opportunity to learn.
100%. Okay, we were also talking about, still on this topic because we were talking about getting in debt, and because that was one of Reichdahl's concerns, that kids were signing up for either student loans or getting in credit card debt.
Cards, yeah, understand what.
Let's see. Donna and Lacey, I think this generation has it right. Travel now. Why wait till you're 65 or older where you can't do as much stuff, even though you have the money?
Beautiful.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Oh, 253 says, I just have to say, your Buc-ee's commercial today was amazing. Thank you for that joy. Is this yesterday's letter? John, you have so many interesting stories. This is yesterday's letter. John, you have so many entertaining stories.
Well,
do you ever think of breaking out nationally? Thanks so much to you and your team. We are very fortunate to have KIRO and the radio hosts.
We'll take it. Yesterday or today, we will take it.
Was there a more updated letter day that I missed that said nice things about Angela and I?
Yeah, but I must not have pasted it, so now it's gone in the ether.
Well, you know what, though? John will be back tomorrow, and with good reason.
Unless he goes national.
That could happen.
In that case, he'll be back on Monday.
All right. Well, let's see what's happening on the roads. Lori, how's it going?
Yeah, we'll do today's traffic. Northbound 167 at 4th in Auburn. We still have an accident in the right lane. Southbound 405 at 167. They were reporting an incident, but it looks like it's already cleared. Eastbound 18 and 167. Another incident. Bellevue to Everett now under an hour 58. Northbound I-5 slows approaching 512. And then it lets up all the way into Tacoma. Seattle to Tacoma, you're looking at 55 minutes. I'm Lori. KIRO, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represents Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about baseball. It's game day. The stadium roof is open. Our club's putting up a fight. They're cold brews in hand. But outside, the police are getting ready to spot fans trying to steal their home base. Maybe the night threw you a curveball. An officer made an error. Or perhaps the bases weren't the only thing loaded. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know it's not 3 strikes, it's 1 strike. And you're facing the Grand Slammer. 1-800-DUI-AWAY is here to help, even if we have to go into overtime. So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up your free private consultation. When you're on defense, it's full count, bottom of the ninth. You want your closing pitcher on the mound. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years.